Barbara Stanwyck, and then maybe radio or the show, and maybe Zelda or something else. Thanks so much for swinging by. Wish us luck. Hope you have a great time. Catch you guys on the other side. Say hi to the Festus. Festus, say hi.
somehow, huh, boy?
Before they see us speak forces in nitroglycerin, they only break down. After they see her.
Crowds just like they used to have when this was an opera house, huh, boy?
Grand opera brought crowds like this into this lobby. Well, that's what the public wants.
How to kill deadly bacteria in drinking water in 90 seconds. This simple but brilliant trick you can do tonight to eliminate all harmful germs from your water is taking the U.S. by storm. A genius university student from Texas is disrupting the billion-dollar water purification industry in the U.S. with a device that eliminates bacteria from any water in record time. A student from the University of Texas at Austin recently shared a strange trick that anyone can use to turn any water into a real elixir of life in just 2 minutes. David, a third-year student at the University of Texas at Austin, received an assignment from his professor to study how different types of water affect the behavior of lab rats. The experiment was not supposed to be dangerous. However, one day when he approached the cage, David was shocked. His favorite test subjects were covered in bald spots and looked clearly distressed. When David analyzed the water samples, some of the water samples contained E. coli bacteria and realized this was the cause of the animal's poor health. It was
Oh, you mean the fin? The fin. You want to see what I'm going to do?
You didn't forget anything, did you? Oh, I did. Oh, you better not. We're not at the Columbus Gaiety, you know. Stick to your mouth. Your mouth.
Be a good girl, huh?
I'll be rooting for you.
Help you, honey?
I'm warning you, Comet.
Yeah, so the copper that gave me this. No romance in those copper solar things. Just because the guy goes through 2 red lights to get
Quiet. Get upstairs and put your little face.
When I just wanted to wish you luck.
That's okay, Comet, but keep it at a distance.
Beautiful, Junior, but it's not for me.
Come on and give me these, 'cause I don't like my music sweet. I want to feel my impulse beat. Take it off the E string, play it on the D string. If this gives you a thrill, it's happening much against my will. And only 'cause I've caught a chill. Take it off the E string, play it on the D string. What goes a lot goes when I do my act. Boys, it's a fact. Whenever I'm applauded, you're rewarded. Kind of drummer jump. I get loose like the biggest lump. I start breaking out in bones. Brother, I'm making my extension, earn my pay. Just by shaking this way, 4 shows a day. My boyfriend time was with you, stole some dough. Now that ain't so. But did you like the time if you lump me up?
Lady of Burlesque.
I know what you're waiting for.
Waiting a week.
And I've a mind to do some more.
I'll stick around.
But I don't want to break the law. But listen, brother, I've got a mother, old and gray.
But she's a Lulu.
I support her this way. 4 shows a day.
Show.
The only date I make in comics is with a Sunday funny.
Be all right with me. Sunday morning breakfast.
Yeah, I'm sure it would be.
Hey, I forgot to take your hand out of that.
Check this out. State Farm was charging me $179 for auto insurance premium. No, thank you. I have this friend who told
They'll never let her off that stage. Gee, you work fast. Nothing to it, Mandy. Butterflies are usually hard to get. Not when you've had practice. Boy, you sure have practice. They put you into a room. I'm sure they can all people. Mandy, here's some glitter to start your collection. Gee, thanks, miss. You've got to tell them what that glitter is. So I don't know. Of course I know. They wear it around the waist and they have to, well, they use it. Oh, you're making so mad.
Call you Dick tonight, darling.
Makes me want to leave the wife, Dixie.
Don't do that, Nate. Just send her around for a couple of lessons. That word's lucky he did run away. Wait till I slap his face in a pickle persuader. They'll find his jaw on Staten Island. Yeah?
Diamonds in your hair. SB Force personally grooming you for stardom.
Well, thanks to your first comic. Oh, boy. See how they all alike? Don't you ever make a new one?
Not with comics, only with girls. And only SB Force can do anything new with them.
Well, I guess it's up to me. And I'm just the gal to enjoy the job.
Need to take a break from Zelda.
Really gave him the money for it.
Next one,
Well, the
Dixie.
next show, the Yale Bowl. I could go home dreaming.
If I could please the customers like that, I'd be the happiest girl in the world.
That's what keeps me young and beautiful, Alice.
So we get any congrats from the Golden Boys got us?
Oh, it had its novelty appeal.
Yeah.
Well, there are plenty of novelties around the old opera.
Bravo.
But that doesn't sound like one of them. If that's who I think it is, save your applause for the act that needs it. Yours.
Now, is that the way to talk when I'm handing you posies?
Your applause is no music to my ears, Brannigan. Where's that prop you swiped?
I meant to tell you, Dixie, when you dress for our date tonight, blue is my favorite color. And no big hat, see, that'll get in my way.
When I dress for a date with you, it'll be a suit of armor and brass knuckles.
Gee, that's just a come on. She wants to make it look difficult. She'll change her tune.
Honey, sugar.
See? Yes, darling.
Sugar.
What is it, Angel? I've just started the play.
It's a double play. Wait till Dolly catches up to me.
How does it sound? That's rough. Shall we read it together later?
Anytime you say.
Why don't you give it up, Goddess?
It'll take one play to get you and Russell out of burlesque. It'll take a dare. We've got to have a new one.
Do what? Oh, the museum piece.
I haven't seen one like that since the Wilkes-Barre Regal. In some ways, I think it would have been better to stay on the farm.
Mr. Foss always says that nothing's too good for S.B. Foss players, but that thing is certainly too something for me.
Me too.
Hey, to keep you Cupid out from pining so much, us fellas up here are going to chip in $1 apiece on some new plumbing for you. How's that?
Our hero. I put the switch on Moe who's backstage. He said he knew where we could get one.
It's nothing, girls. I was just doing it for that lovely young bud of the old opera, Miss Dixie Daisy.
Well, I'm touched.
Nandy, Joey, Phil, Biff. Maybe Biff will pay double with his new interest.
Figure that way, don't forget your saloon keeper friend Louie, even if he doesn't work here.
Sure, anybody that saved as much out of the racket as Louis puts a postcard in his dice upkeep. Or it does.
A white will down for plenty. There's so much the guys upstairs will forget what he looks like.
Well, someone else had better forget what he looks like, too. Some dames never know when a guy's fed up.
Oh, Dolly, we were just kidding about how much jack we could get out of upstairs for the new bric-a-brac.
Yeah, I came in on the tail end of it. I'll take care of Russ, in fact. Sort of got the habit. Good thing you have, Shirley. You sure couldn't hold a man unless you did pay up.
Stop it! Put that bucket up there.
Oh, my vocal cords. My voice. Thank heaven, Mother. They're still all right. Mother.
What kind of a mother would a day like you have? A mother with a good brain. Stop it!
There's a package for you, boys. Don't open it till Christmas.
Fire it again, Dolly.
Oh, you look like falling out of the antique. Hey, what are you frying in that brown bird seed? You ever put those two down in the basement? The rest of them from.
Opera singers didn't mind it, but burlesque artists, times have changed.
They ain't got no manners. Think they're better than an honest man that works for a living and don't pose around on no stage.
Excuse me. Hey, what'd you do exactly in the hunt?
Boy, were you getting big like a gruesome soup?
It's Jim. You know alcohol like we use in hospitals.
Yeah, well, I know their place to use it. Get me.
And the next time you girls pull a free-for-all, don't pull it during my act. You know, it's tough enough doing something artistic for those mugs out there without you and Dolly calling each other by your right name.
What do you do, honey? Drop his thing?
And it was embarrassing, believe me. But very successful. What is it?
How do you left this, Dixie? We're on.
Coming. Well, girls, the whole fire under control.
Shall we join the customers? That's what we're getting paid for. I feel pretty silly someday when you remember acting like this.
If I remember you that long.
Oh, you'll remember. We're going to make sensational partners.
Sure about that?
Oh, I mean, in some of our dance routines.
Naturally. Never any doubt what a comic means.
You better settle down to it, Dixie. Looks like you and I are in for a good long run here.
I'm trading for it.
No.
I can keep ahead of it. Hurry up, sister. Will you're on. I should give it a yes.
I'll be good with you.
I said no, I mean no.
Hey, where you going?
I'm going to be blunt. What kind of blunt?
Hey, one like this, one like this, one like this. Just a blonde. Hey, how come you have all the rest of the girls?
Because, my boy, I have something you haven't got.
Oh, you got a magic finger and see the women on tools?
All I have to do is wave that and persuade her under the lady's nose. She gives me anything I want.
Anything?
Anything at all.
Hey, tell her to me.
Boy, that's a very valuable art.
Couldn't you make it a little cheaper?
Well, I might sell it in the neighborhood of $500.
That's an expensive neighborhood.
Well, how much money have you got?
Oh, roughly $400.
What do you mean, roughly?
Well, when you smooth it out, it's $3.
Well, enough of this nonsense now, because I like you, and because you have an honest face.
Murder.
I'm going to sell you this little article for $100. Remember, my boy, just pass it under a nose. Just pass it under a nose.
Anything I ask for, anything. I even had that hand you got way down at the waist.
How was that, Ryder?
Because somebody didn't want it on. Look, cut a clean as a whistle right here under my nose. And by somebody who... Give me your money. No, I point out and break to the culture. You know where it is?
I don't hang around the same parts of the theater that you do.
Give me a kiss. In the cellar next to the vacant room and cut the end of the blackout.
Not a chance, Brannigan. I've been saving up for this all evening.
I forgot Star Wars was even an option. I selected the wrong profile.
And you are not riding in the wagon. I S.P. Force out of my own pocket and I have the receipt. I'll take you to jail. 3 years of false
You didn't have to walk.
Can everyone see everything okay? Is everyone happy?
What are you talking about? When the lights went out, I made a starting up again, somebody grabbed me.
Mandy, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
With what reason? The honest it was. Somebody grabbed me and tried to strangle me. Wrong and sin, and they knew what they were doing. Strong enough to make me black out. Sugar, without your still blacked out.
Dixie, somebody was trying to find a lake.
Besides, who'd want to kill you? What I'm saying is that somebody in that theater tried to kill somebody else.
If the Sith wanted to get on everyone's good side, they'd go clean up the swoop gangs in the lower city.
My husband had no idea how we went from paying $156 a month to $29 a month for car insurance. I've been handling our finances for years now, and this was our best budgeting move I've made for us.
Oh my gosh.
Please. Whatever we got in the old house, this ain't got much. This is my answer to frustration. We should have some wallpaper. Each and every one of my actors I give free and without cost. One paid in full share of my personal stock in the old opera house. Hooray! Come on up, everybody, and get it. We just made everyone that. Yes, that's right. Now we are one for all and all for the old
Remember, easy, a dozen. Should it? Wasn't
So, Sir Galahad finally got here.
Come down and get me. I called you, didn't I?
That cell's wrong with blues. It's all right for me. I can be looked like a common cell. Yeah.
I don't like this boyfriend of Baronet.
Big Louis the Grin. Turns gray when he sees a cop like a gunso. Just gonna plug that car in the hook.
Don't worry, the cops haven't got anything on you yet. When they do, they'll catch up on a lot of things. Won't they, Louis?
I don't know, will they?
Now, this is more like it. You mind, Curly? Not at all. You do? See, that he gets it quicker than you do. We belong together.
Champagne cocktail.
In a Flasson, Darkshaw, too.
Linguist.
Oh, French.
See, you've been here before.
Oh, beer's a lot better for you. Always got your best interest at heart, that's me.
And I left upstairs to come down here with you. Steak, champagne.
Yeah, but things upstairs will get sudden and violent.
Isn't that way always?
Dick, I wonder if you forget that stuff, will you? Oh, I get it. He's just pulling this act to make me feel protected.
You should ever figure on anybody telling the truth.
Not for Alexei. They used to wriggle out of things. You get that one? Dixie, tell me something.
You tell me. Who'd want to close the old opera? More important, who'd be after me?
Well, Dixie, I guess I'll have to confess. It was just me taking a natural advantage of the dark.
That's not where you grabbed me.
Go ahead, make a mystery on it. But didn't you say before they were probably after somebody else?
Yeah, I know, but... Let's get out of here and get some fresh air. I want to think this thing out.
If you'll promise to think something else over first.
We're on that track again.
Dixie, I don't get it. I've always gotten along before. Is it the set of my shoulders you don't like? The look in my eyes?
Your shoulders aren't bad. Your eyes are a pretty color. But...
I guess what I need with you is a good four-leaf clover.
Now you need more than that, friend. You're a comic.
What is the matter with comics?
I went into show business when I was 7 years old. 2 days later, the first comic I ever met stole my piggy bank on a railroad station in Portland. When I was 11, the comics were looking at my ankles. When I was 14, they were just looking. When I was 20, I'd been stuck with enough lunch checks to pay for a 3-story house. Now they're shiftless, dame-chasing, ambitionless.
I've got it. You're ambitious.
Maybe I'd like to get away from comics. Maybe I'd like to be in a 4:40 show on his Sunday night, too.
You'll do it, too, Dixie.
You don't mean that.
I can see it right now. Your name up there. What's your real name, honey?
Deborah Hoople.
Deborah You'd think year. Yeah, maybe just 6 feet. City Daisy, a Broadway's latest hit. You know what I'm going to do opening night? Buy the whole first row just for me. Nice, Barry. You'll see. Won't take long either. Come on, let's get out of here. Yeah. Hey. That's why I ordered beer. Said it was to your interest.
Comic.
Thank you.
$4.50, sir.
But when I'm not around, protect my best interest.
Where's your change, sister?
Keep it.
The cops of Little last night said he used it for a siren.
We all have to put up with jealousy. Don't jump too much. Don't jump right in the back of myself. No, just and it's their fault. They're probably a dime pipe hotter than they We're gonna have a regular unveiling, like when you unveil statues of generals and courts. Maybe that'll teach you to mind your own business. Matter to you, Dad. Someone had a teaching that a lady can follow with privacy. You get plenty of privacy if that waiter's hurt. They have laws to things like you. Oh, yeah? Who gave you a cue? Stick to your own business and I'll stick to mine. Stick to my own business? That's a laugh. I'd stood for your knives in the back to keep a little peace around here, but I'm through. If you're not jumping on us, you're knocking out waiters who wouldn't look at you if you were rolled in batter and French fries. And I'm through letting the corn dog upstart get pushed ahead of me. What if everybody gets the idea you're so hot? Maybe the customers get the idea. You can have these customers.
Hello?
I'm getting out of this grindhouse.
Oh, I wish you wouldn't say that. It sounds so cheap.
Molly, let me tell you. Get out of both Bravo.
Hey, is that good, that bulbous?
It ain't hot, is it?
What do you mean, hot? It's like this. I think of this pal of mine I used to work with in the old days. When we got legitimate, he took up plumbing. And what do you know? He gives me at wholesale. And what's more, I saved it plenty by installing it personally. Just look at that. Just look at that. Ain't that gorgeous? Why, it's got flash enough for the Queen of Sheba. Now, you'd really have something if you had a whole suit to match. Sweet. Come on, everybody down to the convent. You play with that thing later. Come on, everybody.
Sounds like it's swallowed a file. Probably slow because they didn't ask him to the party. Probably won't even have a party with Mother's darling throwing bottle grenades at the pizza bar. Our friends blow things over while you girls hand out the awards. Hey,
If you have this posture where your head is forward, or your shoulders are rounded forward, or your upper back is hunched, I'm going to take you through how to...
we almost got him that time. See what I mean? Never mind the same game that didn't. Go on.
Now, was that a sight? Oh. If you get moonlight on that stage, Horse would be a millionaire tomorrow. Where you off to, Christina? I'm on it. 33, South Forest Fire. You know, if this were real antique, I'd drag you up here like a cat in a western. And no cat ever had a hiding, believe that. You got me. Just had a little trouble putting your brand on. Oh, that's so fun. After a sight like that, my Irish ancestors would rise up in their graves trying to get Mr. Butt. Take it to Fairbury. I'm going to put my son. Pass number Jimmy Penny. Oh, no, wait a minute, boys. I'm carrying a white flag. You Chinese fight too darn well for us to want to mix with you. Come here, let me take this. That isn't the way to take care of it. You go back. You have nothing to do with this. Have something to do with it. No dinner?
No more dinners, ever, no.
Oh, now, look, we have to put up with enough of that dame without her starving us out in the bargain. This born with an axe in her mouth, she ought to be put out of misery like a mad dog. Come on. Tell me you'll bring us our dinners, and I'll smooth your divorce and give you some passes. Things getting a little bit difficult for you, Biff? Yeah, Mandy. You know how it is. Sometimes these things take time. Sure do. You gotta plan it out. Sometimes you finagle them this way, and other times you finagle them that way. That's why I like sweet dumb girls like Alice. No finagling. We bring the dinner.
Thank you, Spirit. Don't spare the ice until that's better. See you later.
Wait a minute. Anything good. You eat it, you can live a long time. Thanks. Thanks a lot. So we slipped you one of those never die things, huh? Yes, Mr. Brannigan. It's a charm to ward off the evil spirit. Biff, what's the matter? That was my ancestors rising up in their graves.
How'd you make out with the waiters, Dixie? Yeah, did we put on the feed bag? Yeah.
I didn't know a waiter did it.
Hey! Dixie's got a new boyfriend.
You eat it and live long time.
Feeling wax.
Oh, sorry, girls. Well, everything's hunky-dory now. Oh, Jake has a few surprises he wants to put in for the unveiling. So you better clear out early for the finale.
This place has as much privacy as a hot dog. Shaped like a man.
Ugh, it's disgusting.
Not so much like a man, more like a skeleton hanging from the gallows. Want to trade it in, Dixie?
Ah, you can have it.
The same charming garden. Hello.
Well, look at the pictures brought in out of the thing.
The same old familiar faces. And some new arrivals. Who are you?
I'm Dixie Daisy. This is Gigi Graham.
Who are you? I am the Princess Nervina, star of the theater. I have been in the hospital for the last 2 weeks. Dislocated vertebrae. Maybe she took a little trip to Toledo for old time's sake. I have never heard him. How you say? Toledo? Don't give me that accent business. You know how to say it when I first knew you. Toledo. I don't go to Toledo. Only tramps work in Toledo. Well, they get around. No. I should have danced before Roy. Instead, the princess throws pearls to swine.
You snooty. We're on again, beautiful. Hello, Black Iris.
It wasn't bad luck. I'd let her have it.
Who was that overexposed baby?
A dame with this one thing I hate is the phony. I should have danced before royalty. Instead, the princess throws pearls to swine. I wouldn't be too hard on her. She's bad luck to some people, not so bad to others. If anyone else drops in that I should be, tell them I'm on stage. I startled you?
Lately, sister, I've been startled by X-ray.
Tell me, while I have been gone, has this Julita, has she said anything about me?
No. You were a nice surprise to me.
It is only that some people talk too much. And this Julita talks a lot too much.
Not to me. It's the others in the dress.
I dress alone, downstairs. I'd rather live in a pigsty than with those women.
What are you doing, Jake? Moving up the whole prop room?
I gotta do my surprises up right, Dixie.
Still clumsy, eh? Yes, I am back.
Just visiting, I hope.
Stay, Mr. Prop Man.
What finds you guilty of being drunk and finds you $5. $10 on the bill, I haven't any change. Go out and get drunk again.
Come on, what are you waiting for? You're on.
Ah, hello, Excellency. Today, what is that?
God.
He does what you do, only they like it better. You two can trade notes at that wingding they're throwing tonight.
Do you think I would go? I, the princess?
Free drinks, Highness.
I might come. Now I want to see Mr. Fox. Is he here?
Right, the same old rat, Nick. Want me to tell him you're back?
Tell him to come to my dressing room.
Yeah. Want to get a cigar? I'll be back right away.
The what?
The truth.
Oh, that old thing.
Were you ever up before me?
I don't know. What time do you get up?
Now, Miss Peaches, the facts of the case are clear to me. You plead guilty or not guilty?
Don't you think that's a rather personal question?
Oh, you'll have to tell him.
Why?
Why? Why? According to the Constitution of the Bible State of Cologne, Section 63, upper case, call ready fall, seeing the college recipient all points where it's distinctly said, it all I hold you in contempt. I don't like you either. I don't like you either. Well, I don't like you either. Nothing, that's... How dare you refer to me as a cop? Hey, Louis, you know something? Some girls is what they know a couple like that. I bring in defensive gadgets, you roll the cake.
Yeah. Where you going?
How can they get the rest of the beer?
That's all you're going to get. I told Charlie to take it easy on the free drinks for my pals.
Sure, Louis. Sure.
All my sacrifices are the keys to open the gates of heaven and let me be with you. I'll stab him in the eyes with that one. I feel it.
I'm coming, Sammy.
People don't learn easy, Songbird.
Now don't do it.
Take a lot of lessons before they stay in line.
Now don't do it, Louis.
Quiet.
You're terrific, Louis. No, it's no weapon. It's not Louis the Grim. Please let women and pushing guys around.
Come on and give me heat, because I don't like my music sweet. I want to feel my impulse beat. Take it off the E-string, play it on the G-string. If that gives you a thrill, it's happening much against my will. And only cause I caught a pill. Take it off the E-string, play it on.
Everyone deserves access to healthy food, but not everyone can get to a food bank. So, we partnered with
Thank you, Amazon. You are saintly.
Whenever I'm all I want. Brother, I
Shall we drink to it? Sure. Things I do for the old opera house. The next thing you know, I'll be hanging from a trapeze. Tell the line to hit a hustle on. I'm going to try to get grandmother.
Jake must trust you promised as far as you can throw the prop room.
What's up now?
Oh, that sealing wax on the box the waiter gave me. He's got it on the catch of the door.
Sometimes I think you don't have the right respect for your fellow workers. Maybe I ought to try Louis' method.
Good thing the goddess didn't hear that.
Hey, Sammy! Hey, Sammy, the Peridot isn't up here.
Oh, what to do? She can't miss the summer of the finale. Look, stall. You have to stand on your head out there to keep looking stall. That dame causes more trouble around here than a forest fire. What do you mean she isn't here? Do you look?
Look out, Jake, steal her.
Oh, I know. I try what you... Look, it's around her neck.
Her G-string.
It ain't there for an ornament either. Force. I gotta get Force. Beth, get the police quick.
That's not where I am, right?
Grant.
Am I not roll?
And roll evenly. Side to side. Firm touch. Without making a detailed examination, I'd say they were the same. Now, the first finger of the right
The
hand...
finger I pressed against the wax. I was...
Hey, you're holding up the parade. What a parade. The only thing missing is the elephant.
Is that another limb of the law?
Don't worry about him. Save your explanations for his nip. He enjoys it.
I feel like I should have some
Miss Daisy, isn't it?
Yes.
I'm Inspector Harry. Steady.
Now, to repeat what I was saying, since Miss Daisy was busy downstairs, someone who was in the room immediately after the body was discovered took that G-string for reasons of his or her own.
What G-string?
The murder weapon, Miss Daisy.
Well, it was her own G-string and it was around her neck. We all saw it.
All but the police. The G-string had disappeared by the time we arrived at the fair.
Maybe it just fell off.
How could anybody take the G-string in that crowd? Everybody in the theater ran in.
We are not interested in how it was done. We are interested in who did it, where the weapon was put, and why it was taken.
Well, why don't you search it and settle that part of it? Muscle, it looks like he might enjoy it.
What's the sex name that she tells us?
Not that I could find anything on me.
The lady's Floyd is well taken. The search after this time in this crowd was only caused to be.
Well, there's been plenty of time for some people. You could suggest why it was taken.
Well, she always carried money on her. She used to hide it in many of her costumes. Did you in the room?
That really is stupid.
Oh, yes, Mr. James Wong. Yes, I heard of you, Mr. Wong. That's a nasty bump.
Nasty throw.
Nasty all right, eh? I see.
I sent out a call for Louis Grandero. Complete description of your...
You have 0 keys. I know I need. Where do I get a key?
He ran away.
What about in that thing? But if I like go north, is that a warp?
Rendero,
How about I go north and then west and get to
after receiving a call from,
why didn't I just? Oh, that's the
So I
puzzle.
told him. When we was in the racket, she did me a couple of drinks. Well, I
I
didn't
need
tell
to
him
make some popcorn.
Who knew about anything? I know Lisa was so scared of what he was going to do that she was taking it out on us. I know he started something.
He started drinking. He scared of trouble. The pen force hadn't loosed him, and ever since. He knew what they would do if they got him in again.
well, he may or may not be guilty of the murder. He'll be examined as thoroughly as any of you picked up.
How do we get through here?
Lady Laverne was murdered between the time she came upstairs after her quarrel with Rendero and the finding of her body.
Before I went up at the end of our act.
Perhaps. During most of that time, the room was clear. But the murderer had time to strangle Laverne, break Jake's seal, and replace it with one of his own.
I know she wasn't in there when I put the seal on. If she had been, I'd have said something.
Let us hope so. Well, all of you still remember exactly nothing about your own movements or anyone else?
Oh, yes.
Yes? Yes? Single?
Well, yes, I listened to what he told me, and I was all alone. Don't you see?
See what?
There was nobody with me. You could have done it.
Even you. Well, it all adds up to this.
I'm gonna die.
Candy Bouquet?
I knew it.
State manager who was angry?
What did you get? Sure, I was sore. No, she was.
Even the final makes no difference if this life as well as performance. You don't like her as performance either, Sandy.
Well, they're not the easiest in the world to get along with. They don't like my pipe.
Mr. Rogers. Yes? Where were you?
I was first on for the finale. Before that, I was dressed.
Mr. Brannigan, could you put that away?
Oh, I can't do my thinking without this.
Seems I can't do mine with it.
Okay, turn my back. Me? Oh, I was up and down.
Downstairs, indeed.
I didn't say that.
Did you mean it?
I didn't say I did. I was up and down.
Where were you up and down? What interest did you have in Lady Laverne?
What is interest in the bird? Goodness.
When you were up and down the stairs.
I wasn't up and down the stairs. I was up and down the floor. It's a gag.
I'm interested in what you were up and down on.
This day. Boy, you make me so mad. Look, I'll explain it to you. First I stand up, and then she kisses me, and then I'm down. It sounds like this. Ooh, I'm a nicotine baby. You a nicotine baby? What do you do on Mother's Day? I said flowers should oil self.
What are you doing?
Yeah, tell me. Oh,
What do you think?
up and down. Look out. Oh, yeah.
Tell us the whole investigation. There's really more important things on my mind. Oh, yes, Miss Philomena.
I am the Princess Philomena, and I was in my dressing room until I knew it. Is that so? Well, why didn't you ask her about Toledo? Laverne was always making cracks about Toledo, making cracks, period. I told her I had never worked in Toledo. That is the truth. Is it not the truth, Mr. Fox? Isn't it?
Never worked in my Toledo theater with Levine.
That's what Laverne made. It is as if cracks, period. The cracks she makes to her were enough to start a fight. Yeah? Well, I was mad enough to take a poke at her, and I'm mad now.
You took a poke with a nail file, our report shows.
Well, I grabbed at anything I could lay my hands on.
Sounds natural. But a nail file could be used to kill a person, couldn't it? And if the weapon was murderous, the attack might be considered murderous, mightn't it?
Wait a minute. You're running words around me like a brush.
Not words, fact. I'm not responsible for that. Mr. Rogers was responsible for all the public interest in Mr. Laverne.
We've all produced plays that came on a legitimate stage. Our interest was still special. The man threw a party with Mr. Wong earlier in the evening. You resented that.
I was mad. I was plenty mad.
Bringing on a quarrel between Mr. Burr and Miss Daisy.
I've been coming on for a long time, but that is true.
You're not going to keep her in misery like a mad dog. Miss Daisy?
It was a figure of speech.
An unfortunate one.
I love the rock song.
Yes?
We are all in the room after the body is found. I am next to her. Suddenly, she notices something on her finger. She turns away and bites it off.
Like the wax on the door.
How we get to that? Since you started this reunion, you've made one charge after another. You know what was my pin on that wax when I looked at your room, which you can a little bombshell for the last spot in the bill. I really had changed the wax. You think I'm dumb enough to leave my purse in the middle
Did I
of it?
get a key? I don't think I got it.
Caught my mistake.
Oh, well, there's still a
I was in the
mole.
dressing room. I saw the wax and the chewing in my butt.
Why did you leave her perfectly like at all?
I wiped it off, but not creatively. You turned the vase from me. I turned away from a garbage dump.
One more thing. The wax that was used to reseal the door has been identified as coming from a box given to you by Mr. Wong.
I gave it to him.
You knew about it.
Give me a key.
I've been trying to learn to hate each other's inside.
Her remarks show that.
There are plenty of people I don't like. You, for one. I
All
don't
that
like
murder
you.
and no key.
I merely
That was
stated
like
the
pointless
murder.
murder.
But you were the only person admittedly in the restroom during the time the murder occurred. Mr. wax from a box given to you. That your fingerprint was on the wax. But if you tried to take that wax to your finger without being noticed.
Why you two-faced snooper?
Wait a minute. There is some mistake.
I said it was a big mistake. You can't take it through to that murder. Why, look, Session is so beautiful. Why, only last week she came to this theater and made more friends than a whole litter of kids. Why, she couldn't any more crazy Well, furthermore, that woman wasn't out of my sight all evening.
It was pure murder.
Just that she was alone in the dressing room.
Well, I was talking about lies. Why don't you give yourself now, Phyllis? You forgot to mention that you told us guys this afternoon that you killed Louise and she kept running around with that Louise.
Alfred felt like killing her. But I loved her. I wanted to marry her. I loved her.
Is there something you wanted to tell me, Miss Baxter?
No.
Did you want to tell me it's impossible for Russell Rogers to marry Lady of Burlesque?
No.
Impossible because he's already married? Married to you?
Oh my gosh, what a waste of time.
2 years ago, when
It's
you were
always
during
a waste
raid,
of time.
they insisted to know your records were collected.
We didn't want to make it known because we knew that Boss didn't hire married couples. When I told him it was a place for him, I wanted to tell, but he wouldn't let me. He loved her. He never loved me.
Tell me what's crying when I just threatened to kill her. Look at this. Those marks. She did that a week ago. That I expect to leave.
It's true, it's all yours.
How long did you have to practice to make like such a deal?
Dude, I've been here.
This is the chorus.
I don't need to be here again.
Lolita Laverne.
This too.
Died in 30 minutes.
Send me back home.
In other words, the murderer was so impatient he couldn't wait for his poison to take effect. Or, there are 2 murders in the old opera house.
Yes, there are 2 murderers at the opera house.
This is my first experience with burlesque. Will all remain in missing distance in the case of Shepard.
We can just get out of here. I don't care what happens.
There has to be a solution. Ought to be not
I
too
feel
hard.
like I already killed that
That's
pig.
what I like. Sensitive type.
This is one crook that's not going back to that room and had a bracer. Here. This is the bird smoker. Come on. What happened?
Go out and look.
This.
Listen, I found it in my pocket. Somebody slipped it in. I didn't think it was. They don't believe in anything. So,
How do they compete? How do they
I couldn't do that.
Please be a key.
I've been thinking.
You're not a key.
The murder. And they're bearing down on you. Do you think I could think of myself? I'm gonna turn it in.
But if they won't believe you.
I'll have to take that chance, Dixie. When I saw you in trouble up there, arrogant, pushing you around, well...
Yes, I have. I'm stuck up. Slow.
Don't swallow his
Did you change your mind about me?
After all,
What do you want?
well, maybe for a few minutes.
Maybe we both could do something. Tonight I got too much on my mind. Good night, Dixie.
Good luck, buddy.
That's probably enough.
What you got in your hand there, bud? Oh, nothing. I just... Hello. Don't make a move till I get down. What's the matter when a guy gets a little fresh air out here? Well, let's see what you're trying to tuck away, funny man. Oh, nothing. I was just... really, I just walked out there. Little one. Or maybe you carry it to the sentimental one. Why'd you kill this one? Now, I ain't got this like a flatware. I found it in my pocket, planted. That's why I was looking for you, to give it to you. You were going to give it to me? Oh, dear. Well, it's dark, and I had a look for you. Oh, you had a look, did you? Were you looking for me down the drain pipe? Do I look like the kind of a guy you'd find down the drain pipe?
Do I look like the kind of a guy you find down the street?
We'll just take a little ride down the headquarters. Oh, sure, we'll go down and see the inspector. So that's why I was looking for you in the first place. Now, look, I'm explaining again. You see, it was dark, and I was looking. And I bent down to get a better look at the upstairs section of the window. My arm was hanging down by the drain pipe. How does that drain pipe do in there?
I'm sure Mr. Brannigan only wanted to do his duty. Don't worry about important evidence.
Oh, good call. Go on. You sure let the people around such a merry-go-round, you'll have me catching Brad through. This guy with his competition, he couldn't find a goldfish in a cold green job. You are... Maybe that little kiss was worth it.
I know there's a puzzle that I just failed. That's the key puzzle. I just need to go find the stupid key puzzle, don't I? Or although that's probably I should have to try a stupid no, that's a stupid circle puzzle. This thing just leads to a stupid circle puzzle. Where's the stupid circle puzzle? This is it, right? There's the stupid circle.
You
circle puzzle, I go down and right. Go. Oh my gosh, how many hearts does it need to take to win? Make a freaking warm peppers.
Thinking how we felt when we pulled out of Columbus. Old Barbara was going to be the last rung on the ladder to the great white woods. You're doing all right. Sure fine. First we run into comics, then murders. Now that contact from Canarsie is on in my spot.
I was expecting...
Then maybe you were expecting my 2 weeks notice. On second thought, no notice, do I?
Is it so bad?
I'm not working for a less than laughs. This little girl's got her way to make in the world. When you brought me here, you promised me the moon. Now I'm getting green teas and not liking it. Why? I've been doing all right. My face hasn't fallen apart since yesterday.
She wants to get out of here. She wants me to produce a show for her. I told her to wait. She gets impatient, so...
The family. That's a private story.
Letters, handshake, checks, copy date. Big date. I don't know what to do.
Don't worry.
You look thoughtful, Miss Daisy.
Thoughtful is no words, Becky.
I'm not surprised. Every day, more and more trouble around the old house.
Not like the old days, huh?
Oh, we had trouble then. Not murders, maybe, but I could tell you.
Did we come in with the lady?
After 35 years, I know what talking about too. And one was yeah, I suppose you are the oldest things in the field. The hermit.
Another one from the old G in Road 30. Not a new one,
The old days. Philomena Cunk-style was get noticed. Maybe from one of the boxes. But he doesn't look good. And after he is gone, we'll be company with the wait. We'll be prima donnas go out. And there will be a crowd. And the wealthiest men in this city waiting to evening clothes. And I was very torn.
What's the word, huh?
And so I took up smoking a pipe. We were no better than you people who saved in money.
All again after 20 years in the place, framed by the villain. The light in the window, the faithful caretaker, and the little woman. Will you give your watch, George?
Not exactly, baby. You were Thomas Angel, I'm here.
What's this? You're behind in your literature, Irish. He's a 35 years old.
You ain't whistling this literature.
I learned more about burlesque in 5 minutes than I did all the time that I was... Yeah, well, hurry it up and we'll send Joey on again.
Okay, I'm gonna solve this damn puzzle this time.
How the hell is it? No evidence. We found Ruben's car right around the corner from the theater, so we didn't use that to get him. They didn't find Laverne's picture of her mother, but they did find the frame.
Where?
They found Lolita's bank book in her apartment. Yesterday, she drew 10,000 crackers out of the bank. Where did that money go to?
Maybe down the drain.
To teeny music tried to see me back?
No.
Okay. You'll see me in a minute. We're on next.
Everything is happening to me tonight. Tonight I do my first. Oh, thank you. Of course, now I'll have to watch my weight. Kelly, please don't talk about murder. Don't ruin him. Who do you think done it?
Well, it could be almost anybody.
Oh, you really think so, Mr. Kelly?
Here are your pals. You want to huddle on some of those big discoveries? Okay.
I'm so pissed.
Well, here I am, a stranger for us. And before we stand in mysterious and gifting to think about, this is the land of the tsetse fly, the guna bird, and the can girl. Also those strange, mysterious love potions, which nowadays we call vitamins. I am what is known as an archaeologist. An archaeologist is a guy that digs up mummies. While the other day I got up a mummy, he was a hepcat. How did I know he was a hepcat? Because he turned to me and said, "Do you dig this, Jack?"
It's a princess, another.
The neck again. Bring the curtain down. Where'd that box come from? Top room. Get in there.
Oh, Mr. Kelly, help me.
Oh, somebody just knocked off the fridge lady. When was she last seen alive? After the number, I guess. But could it be suicide? It's right.
Hiding in the front room, and he got me first.
Turn your way out of that ceiling. You take them from both sides. Got it, Jill. Get over there. Get around the noise.
Guilty or not? He's afraid of a rap even before it was pinned on him. Guess you crossed off one of our questions, huh?
The best popcorn food ever.
Don't look at me as if I was crazy. Put it down to women's intuition, but I'm sure feeling a chunk.
Okay, I get the motivation.
If you knew all the motives in murder cases, Miss Daisy, there would be no
No mystery. Besides, the top room was locked. It was all right. If he was hiding inside, he couldn't have got out to kill the princess. Well, guess we're going to have to go upstairs. Round him up. Hey, you. Upstairs.
I might need some popcorn right now.
Why was the problem solved? Had to be. Only a month ago, a certain town walked out with a bundle of my dishes that he says is laundry. Laundry. But that guy never owned more than one shirt at a time in his life. That's a lie. What's a lie? That you stole my dishes or you got only one shirt? Inspector, the way I figured is... Last night the bathroom was open. Some of the liquor was stored there for the party, and Louis must have
freaking bad
there. Then we trapped him when we went into that basement. And I locked the door when we left. Put him on that list? No, sir. Well, he's back where? Right back where he was. Well, Mrs. Brannigan, too bad we didn't release you after.
That's the boss.
Everybody here? Yes,
I feel like I'm
I was going to turn it in too, but this morning you scared me and yeah, that's guilty, Jay. You don't believe me. Listen, there's plenty of people that have suspicions around here lately. He never said nothing about knowing the princess. Ask him why he took her to her hotel last night. He went upstairs with her. Ask her why she felt why she was still sitting there when I left. Why you found her? Just trying to help. Inspector, he was only trying to help. I lied. The princess did work in my Toledo theater. We worked together. We were well acquainted. Blackmail, Mr. Bond? Where do you come in, Jay? I've been with him in Toledo. I knew she had him on the spot. I found something to make her lay off. When my wife was sick, I found a hospital money down was Princess satisfied with her? Inspector, I take your call. Why was he calling? Absolutely.
Don't usually.
And I woke up and he was standing at the cigar stand buying a box of cigars. And a humidor to put him in.
Get that wheel. It can fly.
Excellent brand.
Excellent. My wife saves up sometimes and gives me these for a birthday present. I smoked this thing out before. Found it free. That's back. He's ready for something a little more expensive. My company puts to the most extravagant cigars. Why, Mr. Rogers? Let me tell you. $10,000 taken the murdered woman. Enough to buy a good many of these cigars. Money taken by you.
Oh, no.
Going to the State of Louis.
Really?
You wanted the money
This is
to
a
your trunk.
waste.
That's why. $10,000?
Yeah, that's the game.
When? You poisoned her. Strong, tough. You want to
Just chop like a
You're
chicken.
going to call for help.
Oh no.
Well, to produce my play. You wanted to get out of burlesque?
I basically just need a statue or I'm never gonna hit it again.
Better kill the bird.
And I'm charged up.
There's enough for both of them. They drink to it. I gotta fill the glass. Police. Don't you see? That's why she had to be.
You come up to finish her job?
So they could stick it around. No, I couldn't do it.
I don't believe you can.
Have you gone?
No. Very uncomfortable thing to be an accessory after the fact. Take Mr. Rogers down to headquarters. Book it.
You got me in this. Take up, fill your hands up.
Take your filthy hands off.
Eliminated one suspect, Louis, and one mystery, poison. But the strangler...
No.
I must warn you all to stay as far away from the as possible. The murderer will
Your magic powers. One hit away. That
Wait a minute.
I'm not exactly used to making speeches. Isn't my beautiful diction that gets me by in burlesque. Here goes. This murderer seems to have done pretty well what he tried to do. Close the old opera. First he pulled the raid, and when that wasn't enough, he really started putting on the pressure. Now it looks like he's going to get what he wants. And darn the fun for letting him get away with it. Darn the fun for sticking around to get strangled when won't beat work. I've left a lot of jobs in my time, but I always stuck until the last kick in the pants. This the job that was happening. And I'm not going to be scared out of the best job I ever had by a couple of ghosts. We're all stockholders, aren't we? We've got a right to protect our funds. We've got a right to Once I thought I wanted to get out of there. Now I'm not so sure. Maybe I'm not so snooty anymore. Maybe I just want to stick around and see you, Dolly, Bossy, and Bert, and Alice, and Sandy, and... Come on. Who's going to be the first to chip in with me? Dick, on with it. Don't be in. I'm with you, Dixie.
Yes. We'll stick and stick.
All right, you're all back, but I guess I'm back with you.
Sure, I'll get dressed.
Surprising profession.
Mr. Kelly said I was the bravest girl he'd ever seen. I'm going out with him tonight. One night I'll be glad to have a policeman beside me.
What's the matter, Angel? Scared? Don't joke about it. I still haven't decided whether I like you or not. Go. Well, I guess I'll have to get along without you tonight, Sarah Jane. I'll finish this at home.
You can do that, Miss Daisy.
Oh.
I noticed something never happened when the light come on. He hadn't gone excitement tonight.
Yeah, a little.
Yeah.
So I'll be at the Pearland, okay. I'll be back in a minute. I want to get some cigarettes in the machine in the lobby. I'll be ready then. Bring me a pack, too. Where are you going, honey? Me? Well, I'm going down to the Peerless Bar and Grill with the rest of you guys. For a midnight snack. You know, whale of a time.
Few minutes, your friend said. You're hoping there won't be time. It took only a few seconds for a reach. A little longer for the princess, but she wasn't half dead already. Lady of Burlesque, the loveliest of them all. I wanted to kill every woman on the stage. Close the old opera. She's gone forever. Once it was a place of glory. You want to see it go? I'll be one.
Not so free with the murders, pal.
Good for him, anyway. You sound like you're glad to see the face.
I never was so glad to see your face in my life. What were you doing out there?
Who, me? Remember a little grandstanding that Flatfoot here misunderstood? And the reading matter I educated myself with in the Queen?
Brannigan's taste in reading was unexpectedly useful. Very unexpectedly.
Right in the middle of it, I found a dame's picture that looked familiar. Her mother, sure. But I didn't remember till I got a flash of that torn picture and checked it upstairs. Then all I had to do was look at the name, Stacchiero. Now everybody knows how Stacchi or Stacchiero here was sour on burlesque. Must have really thrown him off his nut when he found his own granddaughter's virgin.
Granddaughter?
Sure. You never know where you find a relative in show business. But Grandpappy's pride couldn't swallow it.
You mean you figured that out all by yourself?
Some grandstanding, huh? Now, the way I figure it, while he was hiding in the cellar during the raid, he sees you trying for the cold shoot, and he really goes back. Next, he tries his little strangling act on Laverne. The princess catches him at it, so that makes it her turn next. And while I'm upstairs trying to sell this story to these two, I hear about Gigi being dumb enough to leave you alone so he could finish what he started. Why didn't you just send him an engraved invitation, honey?
Well, that does it. Why, you ham and bushling hawkshaw. Stick me on a hunting fancy, everything as far as hands in the mailbox. The hands that tell us spoken of glory. Don't you frame all this. I've been sitting down the stairs with him, waiting for something to happen. What we didn't know was the statue was already in the room.
What I didn't know was that I'd be too scared even to scream. But I had to try my hunch out some way. Nobody seemed to think a lot of my intuition.
As I said before, burlesque is a surprising business. So surprising, it took a couple of burlesques just to figure this out.
Mr. Kelly, where were you? I was waiting.
We had a,
You mean that? The things that happened around here.
Alice, are you all right?
Oh, of course I'm all right.
I got
I thought you were the girl know, I didn't like comics even from a distance. Well, from close, this one isn't bad. Say, what is this?
Oh, it's the same old routine. But maybe with a different finish. I want a blonde.
You want a blonde? What kind of a blonde?
Any kind. One like this, or one like this, or one like this. You look like you're a blonde, huh? Hey, lady, keep your motor running. You started it. I bet I can finish it.
Right again?
Hi.
Well?
Yeah.
Only you speak up? Kid like me,
Then you mean you would? That is oh, you're making
When we started giving her farmer's dog food, she just was so excited about eating in a way that she wasn't with anything else. Farmer's dog has been great for her. Our farm is called Rise and Root Farm, and our dog is Kimchi. She is getting to eat food that is also healthy. Like, we actually understand what it is that she's eating. That is super important to us. She brings peace and joy to the farm and to everyone who comes.
I get such a kick out of the fact that we're filming with an actual farmer's dog.
They are fulfilling full duty towards the nation. At a naming ceremony,
We need stories. We need stories to understand ourselves. We're the only creature that does this unusual thing.
their first initiation was mystical order. Mothers of SS children are told, remember that you are but a link in the clan's endless chain.
Autolite and its 96,000 dealers present Suspense. Tonight, Autolite brings you The Wages of Sin, a suspense play starring Miss Barbara Stanwyck as Ruby Miller.
You know her, Doris? Yeah, Ruby Miller. Pretty good picture of her.
Well, this is her apartment. She's had it for 2 months.
What was he doing here?
Don't know. He was dead when we got here. Shot within the hour.
Oh, Captain, we've been working hard.
Hello, Frank. Who is he?
Driver's license says his name's David Madlock, age 42, this city.
Yeah, it is Madlock. Hard to recognize him with that kind of shooting. Keep going, Frank.
Desk clerk Frank DeMarco saw Madlock come through lobby about 9 o'clock, alone. He got it here a few minutes later.
What was Madlock doing here?
Don't know. DeMarco and the day clerk said they never saw him in building before.
Mm-hmm. Who reported it?
Janitor. Heard the shot. Called downtown, saw nothing.
Madlock's got a wife.
I sent some boys out to pick her up.
Okay. Doc tells me this is Ruby Miller's apartment.
That's right. She rented it 2 months ago. Haven't located her yet.
Now the tabloids are going to make this look juicy. David Madlock slain in Beauty's apartment.
If I know those tabloids we got in this town, that'll be tame.
All right, let's find her and get her story. I want an all-points bulletin out for Ruby Miller right away. She finally got herself messed up in something too big to handle.
In In just a moment, Miss Barbara Stanwyck in the first act of The Wages of Sin.
What's going on, Milo?
Why, it's tune-up time, Hap.
For what?
Your car. Get it tuned up before winter weather wages war on your engine. Winterize it by putting in antifreeze, change of oil and grease.
And check the spark plugs, too.
Realistic reminder, Johnny Plug Jack, because spark plugs are the very heart of your car's ignition system.
You mean spark plugs need winterizing, too?
Why, they sure do, Hap, and that's why it'll pay you to see your friendly Autolite spark plug dealer. He'll replace weary, worn, and wilted spark plugs with world-famous ignition-engineered Autolite spark plugs. They're engineered by the same Autolite engineers who design coils, distributors, and all the other important parts of the ignition system, used as original factory equipment on many leading makes of America's finest cars. That's why Autolite spark plugs operate as a perfect team with your car's ignition system. And that's why you can't buy better spark plugs for your car than Autolite.
Okay, Harlow. I'll have my car winterized.
And check the spark plugs, too.
Right. So, folks, see your friendly Autolite spark plug dealer. And whether you choose the standard type or the resistor type, you can be sure you're always right with Autolite. And now, with The Wages of Sin and the performance of Miss Barbara Stanwyck as Ruby Miller, Autolite hopes once again to keep you in suspense. I don't care who you are. Nobody gets in.
This is my apartment, Pinhead.
Hey, what's going on out here, Sergeant? Who's this?
Who are you? Say, what's the idea of these cops? You're holding crime school in my apartment or something?
You're Ruby Miller?
Yeah, that's right.
Come on in.
Nice of you.
I was just starting out to look for you.
What's going on around here anyhow? I leave for a couple of hours and... My rug!
His name is Frank Madlock. Interested?
What'd he bleed all over my rug for?
Come on, sister. The captain wants to see you.
Well, I want to see him. What kind of a police force do we have in this town? A lady can't go out for a drink without coming home to fight. Get your hands off me.
Inside.
When I finish my judo course, I'm going to look you up.
Hello, Ruby.
Oh. Huh. I draw all the dreamy ones. I might have known it'd be you, Captain Salvador.
That's all, Frank.
Yeah, that's all, Frank.
Tell me about yourself, Ruby.
You losing your hair?
It's falling out worrying about you. The last time was 47. No visible means of support.
I didn't know we were going to talk about old times, or I'd cracked a bottle.
We aren't. Going to talk about that guy lying in there in front of your fireplace. Well?
They tell me his name is David Madlock.
You know that's his name. What's he doing in here?
How should I know? I never saw him my whole life.
How long have you been seeing him? What did you fight about? Ruby, you've had 4 arrests and 1 conviction in your time. You know we always get the answers.
Captain Doric Salvador, Copperoo. Ha. Been in the drugstore since 8:30. 15 people saw me drinking my malted milk while Junior in there must have been getting his brains blown out.
Do they all have...
Every one of them. It was a bowling team on their way home. The loafers.
You're telling me that corpse is a man you never saw before in your life?
That's exactly what I am telling you. Your crew will find that out by poking into everything and everybody in town. They'll also find my alibis good and that your guesses are bad. If Madlock, or whatever his name is, staggers into my apartment while I'm out and somebody bumps him off, that's not my fault. And you nor any other single-headed cop is going to write it any different.
All right, Ruby. Let's go downtown.
Well, Doric Dream, you booked me as a material witness as expected. After all, you had to take somebody downtown. The newspapers tossed a lot of type around. My picture was in every paper, every edition. But after 2 days, it died on the vine. I made 3 inches in the second section after that. Ruby Miller released for lack of evidence. The morning I got out, I'll wait while you blush. I wanted a bath more than anything else. All right, just a minute, I'm coming.
Hello, Ruby. I missed you before you left the station.
I'm tired of looking at cops, Captain.
This will only take a minute.
I'll time you myself.
Thanks. Just been out talking to Marie Madlock, Dave Madlock's widow. And the way things happened, she still thinks that you and her husband were real pals on the side. She hates the memory of him now.
Don't you ever give up?
I don't like to see a nice woman like Mrs. Madlock running around believing something that isn't true. My boys peeked under every rock in town before you were sprung, Ruby. They came up with 2 things that got you out.
You were in the drugstore while Madlock was being killed, and you never knew the guy. I'm convinced of that.
My bathwater is getting cold, so am I.
Look, Ruby, you moved in that apartment 2 months ago, paid $400 rent in advance. The same day, you deposited $1,000 at Freeman's National. You also bought $400 worth of clothes and trinkets.
I hit a horse.
Somebody gave you dough to play a part in this. Who?
We've gone all through this before.
Who, Ruby? A key to this apartment was found on Madlock's body. How'd you get that key?
I don't know, Captain. I just don't know. I should have my lock changed.
All right, Ruby, I'm leaving.
Sorry you didn't have any luck, Captain.
You know, whatever you get out of this, they'll take 20 times as much back from you, right down to your soul. Madlock's killing was top-drawer stuff with some big people involved. People who don't care anything about you because you were just background scenery. They might want to change at any time. Aren't you scared, Ruby?
You'll never see the day.
Okay. Grandissimo bugliardo.
What does that mean?
You're a liar, Ruby.
Where did you get off thinking I was scared? What was there to be scared about? I held 3 aces in the deck, and that was enough. At least to make a starting bid. When I looked out my window that night and saw 2 men in overcoats standing across the street from the apartment, I felt extra brave. I wasn't worried one bit. Hello?
Ruby Miller,
Yes.
what are you still doing in town?
I'm waiting for a phone call, but it's not from you.
You're asking for a doll. I'll be over.
Well, say hello to the 2 cops standing in front of my apartment house. Salvador's got them on me 24 hours a day.
Play it smart, doll. Get out of town while you got legs to walk on.
Listen, you thick-lipped creep. I want to talk to him, the big man, right away. And if I don't, I'll talk to the cops.
I just said how you better act, doll.
Sorry to disappoint you again, Doris, but I wasn't scared that time either. A spook call was always standard operating procedure for those kind of people. It let me down a little, though, having them think I was so square I wasn't expecting it. When I went to bed that night, I was dreaming of a new kind of life. And it started the next day with bells. Hello?
Miss Miller? My name is Victor Sheridan. I'm the attorney for the big man. And that's as close as you're going to get. Take it or leave it. My offices are in the Equity Building, Suite 203. I'll expect you anytime today.
That was the music I was waiting for, Doris. I'll expect you anytime. And I made anytime an hour later. Salvador's 2 shadows followed me when I left my apartment and went downtown. So I wasn't worried that anybody might interrupt my conversation with Sheridan and Carter, attorneys at law.
Call me Sheridan.
Sure.
My client asked me to speak to you.
Speak up.
All right. My client has been disturbed by your attitude.
Good for him.
He wonders why you haven't fulfilled your part of the bargain. After all, you've been well paid.
You call that money? A man I never saw before in my life came to me a couple of months ago and made the deal. $1,500. 2 months' rent on a nice apartment, and on a certain night I was to blow town, never come back.
You should have done it.
I saw it set up a mile off. How dumb do you think I am?
That is not the question, Miss Miller. How dumb do you think we are?
Dumb enough to know he needed a place to do a killing and someone with a rep like mine to throw the cops off. I know who he is, where he is, how he did it, and why he did it. Tell the client I want a payoff to keep quiet. Lots of payoff. Or I can tell a whole lot of cops something that will keep them absolutely spellbound.
I see.
Well?
Will this be enough to start with, Miss Miller?
$1,000? Look, Sonny, this is the major league. I want 10 to start with.
I haven't that much money in the office.
You can get it. There's a bank downstairs.
You're playing a very dangerous game, Miss Miller.
I've got built-in police protection at all times. All you have to worry about is coming through.
That, protection may not last forever.
Let me worry about that.
Miss Miller, it's not up to me to decide the outcome of this affair, but somewhere, someplace, sometime, you'll be alone on a dark street. And I wouldn't want to say what might happen to you.
Well, don't you worry, Buster. I'm going to be burning money to keep all those dark streets bright. Now call the bank.
Barbara Stanwyck in The Wages of Sin. Tonight's production in radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense.
Hey, that Johnny Plugcheck's persistent, isn't he?
Sure, Hap. Johnny knows it's necessary now to get your car made ready for dependable motoring during the cold days ahead. You see, spark plugs are the very heart of the car's ignition system. And when they're right, your chances of starting, even in the coldest weather, are better than ever. So it'll pay you to replace worn-out spark plugs with Autolite spark plugs. The spark plugs that are world famous for quality and dependability.
Autolite spark plugs?
Nothing finer, Hap. And when you replace worn-out spark plugs with ignition-engineered Autolite spark plugs, you get smoother performance, quick start, and gas savings.
You've sold me, Harlow.
Well, folks, see your friendly Autolite spark plug dealer and have him replace worn-out spark plugs with world-famous ignition-engineered Autolite spark plugs. And whether you choose the resistor type or the standard type, you can be sure money can't buy better spark plugs. You're always right with Autolite.
And now, Autolite brings back to our Hollywood downstage Miss Barbara Stanwyck in Elliot Lewis's production of The Wages of Sin, a tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
Don't think those next few months weren't great, Captain Salvador. They were the last days of Pompeii with Christmas and a Polish wedding thrown in. I picked up my checks regularly from Victor Sheridan, and I spent them regularly on Ruby Miller. I never could understand why the two men you always had shadowing me didn't pick up Victor Sheridan. But why look a gift horse in the mouth? I was busy enough being the belle of the boulevard, the girl most likely to succeed. Clothes all over the place. Money, any place there weren't clothes. Nightclubs, I was a bigger attraction than the chorus girl. Men, like flies in a sugar bowl. And don't think I ever got tired of it. Why, I even got tapped by the 400. Of course, I was sort of a late starter, but so were Broker's Tip and the Yankees. Let's see. There was Douglas Elwood Tisdale, who had the mink ranches. Clayton Dashiell, who made governors. Hamilton Moore, who was in shipping and polo. And Talbot G. Cooper, whose taste ran to women.
Ruby, I've known girls from Bombay to Hunter.
Well, don't tell me about them. I hear Kinsey's in town.
No, what I was going to say was that you're the most exciting of them all.
Oh, Coop, squash head. I don't come from Bombay or Hunter, so I don't have to follow the rules. Go get yourself some new material.
No, I mean it. If I were conning you, I'd do it in another place, not here.
Oh, cut it off. I came here for laughs. Say, who are those two people over by the window?
Don't you know? Really?
Look, stupid. Didn't you ever read anything but Noel Coward? If I knew who they were, I wouldn't have asked.
No, come on. I'll introduce you. The distinguished-looking man lives on an inheritance, and the distinguished-looking woman lives on, memories, I guess.
Hello, Coop. Nice to see you.
Hello, Clint. Marie. May I present Miss Ruby Miller, Mr. Clinton Fisher.
How do you do, Mr. Fisher?
And Mrs. David Madlock.
Talk about your drama. That moment could have run 36 straight weeks at the Barrymore Theater. As you know, Captain, it was my first performance at trying to carry on idle chit-chat with the widow of a man found dead in my apartment. Must have been her first, too, because she excused herself and walked quickly away. The guy who staged the scene, Cooper the Coward, also took a powder.
By natural selection, I guess we're left alone, Miss Miller.
What's she complaining about? I wasn't found dead in his apartment.
Well, you couldn't exactly expect her to carry on tea-time conversation with you.
Look, is she a friend of yours?
I know her.
Well, tell her the next husband she gets, keep him home. That means keeping him happy, if she isn't too chilled to find time. Now, if you'll excuse me, Mr. Fisher, I'll go have a drink.
Allow me to join you, Miss Miller.
Why?
Frankly, I like you.
If anybody tells you men over 50 don't have charm, put salt in her coffee. Clint Fisher was as charming as they made them. And the thought came to me that this was my chance to move from the phony money to the real stuff. And he was said to have more connections than the plumbing at the Waldorf. I intended someday to use them. And my chance came sooner than I thought.
Yes, ma'am.
Captain Doric Salvador wants to see me.
You mean Lieutenant Salvador? He got a bus.
Good, he was too arrogant.
Third door on the left, lady.
Don't look so mad, Sergeant. Maybe if you work hard, you'll be busted too someday. Hello, Lieutenant.
Yeah. Sit down.
What did you do? Kick the mayor's mother?
No, the commissioner got a little mad because I didn't bring anybody in for David Matlock.
What did you call me down here for, a wait?
The commissioner's dropping the case.
What do you mean?
He called us off. Matlock will be under him in the file. I'll be on another case.
Yeah, but that means that
Starting tomorrow, where you go alone.
What is this? You pulling off my protection?
Ruby, we had those men on you to see if anybody made a move towards you, not for protection.
I got a right to protect you.
You forfeited every right you had when you threw in with the wrong people. In my opinion, Ruby, you sold your soul for a fur muff and a filet mignon.
Don't talk to me like that, you lousy failure.
Shut up. I played your game long enough. This is the end.
Barbara Stanwyck, you're so mean to me.
You don't even know what I'm talking about. You'll never know. All dames like you got is your sex. You wouldn't know a good piece of music if you heard it. You've never read anything longer than a menu in your life. You couldn't tell me two intelligent things about the history of the people you came from or the name of the man who wrote the Declaration of Independence. All you got is a 75-word vocabulary and 112 pounds of flesh that could have been put to better use in an animal.
You listen to me, flathead. Where do you get off telling me how worthless I am? Just because I went out and made myself a few bucks the hard way? Well, I took nerve and I've got it. It didn't take any to sit behind that desk and get demoted from captain to lieutenant. You pick your way of life yourself, and because everybody isn't like you can't stomach them. Your kind doesn't send your sons to college so they'll know a good piece of music when they hear it. You send them to learn how to make money. And you don't dress your daughters in the best clothes you can buy because they know who wrote the Constitution. You do it so they'll marry into money. You're cheaper on your level than I am on mine because you lie about what you really want, and I don't. I'm honest. I say what I want right out, and I get it.
Are you through?
No. Why did the commissioner call up the case?
It was costing too much.
I can smell a fix 20 miles off. You're going to set me up for a kill.
I'm not setting you up for anything. They called me off the case. That's all I know.
Yeah? Well, if the commissioner's been fixed, he can be unfixed. I know some pretty big people now.
I hope they can help you.
They will. Don't worry. I'll have my protection back. And while I'm at it, I think I'll have you busted down to sergeant. And I couldn't wait to do it to you. Clint Fisher was my boy. By then I had him wrapped around my little finger. He knew the skeleton in everybody's closet, and I was going to make him raffle a few. I pulled out all the stops, and he had my hero printed all over him when he said he'd see what he could do. You cops who thought you had a corner on everything fractured me. I slipped on a negligee and cracked a bottle of champagne. While I waited for my team to go into action. Hello?
Clint Fisher, Ruby.
Oh, Clint, darling. Oh, it's so nice to hear your voice.
It's nice to hear yours, Ruby. Are you all right?
Oh, yes, of course. Don't worry about me.
Well, Ruby...
everything's going to be fixed, Clint?
Not exactly. That's why I called you. I've tried everybody in town, and I hate to say this, but there's nothing I can do for you. Absolutely nothing.
Clint, you don't mean that.
I'm afraid, honey, you're on your own.
Don't tell me about men. I know more ways they can be cheap and lying, two-faced and vicious than you can count in a year. Clint Fisher wasn't the only man in the world who could fix things. So I tried the rest of them, up and down the social register and through the moneymen and tycoons, and every one of them chickened out, every one of them. No, Ruby. Sorry, Ruby. Try someone else, Ruby. That's all I got. Don't tell me about men. Then I began to get scared. Scared right down through the little veins. I locked the door and pulled the shades and told the desk to let no one visit me. And I sat there all night. I didn't dare sleep. And half the next day, I was scared. But then I remembered. I still had an ace to play. Sheridan.
Yes, Ruby.
What's the matter with you?
Nothing.
I came to make a deal. A deal, do you hear me? truly.
I won't spill. I'll never say a word, not a single word to anyone. I'll even get out of town. What are you laughing about?
Stop it. Whatever you're doing,
Trying to
stop.
make a deal.
I got the greatest deal in the world, the greatest. You never heard anything like this. Listen.
That's not what you do.
I don't even know who the client is. I don't know. I never knew. Never. All I know is some creep I never saw before gave me a couple of $1,000 to use the apartment for a killing. I don't even know his name. He came and he was gone. That's all I know. Believe me. Sheridan!
Shot me in the stomach. Who? The client. He killed Madlock because he wanted Mrs. Madlock. She found out last night. Committed suicide. He went crazy. Thought I told her. But after shooting, I said it was you. And you don't even know him.
Who is the client, Sheridan? He'll kill me. I've got to tell the police. Tell me, who is he? Oh, don't die, don't die, tell me! I ran out of that office as fast as I could make it. I didn't know where to go, what to do. I couldn't end up like Sheridan. I couldn't. Then I decided to go to my apartment, get my money and try to get out of town. I ran up the stairs, locked the door, and stood there trying to pull myself together. And I got an idea.
Salvatore.
Captain, listen to me. Listen carefully.
Who is it?
Ruby Miller. Now listen to me.
How long
The
is
client's
this radio
asking.
show
I know
going
he
on?
is.
The client?
The man who killed David Madlock. It's just the way you said. I take everything back I ever said to you. I'm sorry. Really, truly sorry.
I suppose you want
Oh,
protection.
yes. Please send somebody. Come yourself. Take care of me. I'm in my apartment and I'm afraid to leave it.
Ruby, you're a great girl for deals. We had 2 men following you and 3 men following Sheridan. We didn't find out a thing. Tell me who this client is. We'll go out and pick him
Oh,
up.
that's just it. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't. It was all a bluff. They thought I knew, but I didn't. I don't know a thing. I played it for what I could get and it worked.
Now, you don't expect me to believe that.
You've got to believe it. You've got to. I don't know who he is or where he's coming from, but I know I'll be killed.
You're lying, Ruby. When you're ready, tell me the truth. I'll give you what you want. Goodbye.
Don't hang up. Don't, please. I'll be killed. I tried to get you back, but they said you'd left the office. I wanted to tell you about Vic Sheridan's death. That would have been true. That's why I'm writing you this letter. You'll have to believe. I'm packed and I'm leaving town. And I don't ever want to come back. I'm mailing it from the airport. So long, George. I hope you have better luck finding the client than I did.
Into a wasteland near extinction. General Pepper of the Cornelian Army was successful in
This is Salvatore.
Oh, yes.
We just found Vic Sheridan. I'm sorry, Ruby. Sometimes my personal opinion of people gets in the way of my badge. We'll be over there in a couple of minutes.
Strange activity coming from James McLeod, Pig Madango, and Peppy Hare of the Star Fox team were sent to investigate. Upon their arrival, Pigma betrayed the team, and James and Peppy were captured by
I'm glad you came. Nobody cared. Nobody would do anything.
Ruby,
you'll be all
Somebody's after me, Clint. They'll get me. They will.
A few years
Clint.
have passed.
What?
Andros has again invaded the
What's
Lilac
that gun
system.
for?
General Pepper has turned to a new
Clint,
Star
don't.
Fox team, headed by Fox
Don't do
McCloud
anything.
to save
That
Cornell
won't help.
and free the
You can't outrun
Lilac
a bullet.
system once
You had a
again.
free ride on me. I was perfectly willing to give you money when it meant something to avoid trouble. But now you're going to pay it all back.
I'll do anything in the world.
Close your eyes because it's going to hurt.
They'll get you, Clint. The police will get you.
I know, but I'll get it quick. You'll get it the hard way.
Oh, Clint, please don't. Hold.
Yes?
Hold me up.
How does it feel, Ruby? That's what you get for telling Mary Madlock I killed her husband. Mary was the one thing I wanted. I killed to get her, made it as sordid as possible. Girl's apartment and all, so she'd forget even his memory. After all the dough I paid, you had to tell her.
I'll do my best. Andros won't have his way with me.
Didn't tell her. I didn't even know who...
All right, you stand where you are, with your hands in the air.
Come and get
Open the wing.
Hey, will you look at that? Still lying on the same spot where Madlock was killed.
Yeah. The wages
Check your
of
G diffuser
sin.
system.
Suspense. Presented by Autolite. Tonight's star, Miss Barbara Stanwyck.
North wind does blow and we shall have snow. And then what will old Wilcox do?
He'll sit in his car and drive near and far in winter-long comfort. Will you? Well, you will if you have your car tuned up and winterized by your neighborhood Autolite spark plug dealer. And remember, Autolite makes more than 400 products for cars, trucks, planes, and boats in 28 plants coast to coast. These include complete electrical systems used as original equipment on many of America's finest cars. Generators, coils, distributors, voltage regulators, wire and cable, starting motors, and electric windshield wipers. All engineered to work together perfectly as part of the Autolite team. All engineered to give you unexcelled Autolite service. Don't accept electrical parts supposed to be as good.
We're entering
Ask for
Cornelia
and
City
insist
now.
on Autolite, original factory parts, at your neighborhood service station, car dealer, garage, or repair shop. Remember, you're always right with Autolite.
Next week on Suspense, Mr. Richard Whitmark, a star of Too Hot to Live. And in weeks to come, you will hear such famous stars as Herbert Marshall and William Holden, appearing in tales well calculated to keep you in suspense.
Tonight's suspense play was produced and directed by Elliot Lewis, with music composed by Lucien Morawek and conducted by Lud Gluskin. The Wages of Sin was written for suspense by E. Jack Newman and John Michael Hayes. Miss Stanwyck may currently be seen in the MGM picture To Please a Lady.
And remember, next week on Suspense, Mr. Richard Whitmark in Too Hot to Live.
You can buy world-famous Autolite resistor or standard spark plugs, Autolite single batteries, Autolite electrical parts at your neighborhood Autolite dealers. Switch to Autolite. Good night.
Motorists, be prepared to stop in time to save a child's life. When driving through school zones, watch out for youngsters at play. Save a life by expecting the unexpected from children. This is CBS, Columbia Broadcasting System.
This is good advice.
Now, Autolite and its 60,000 dealers and service stations present Suspense. Tonight, Autolite brings you Bob Hope in Death as a Shadow, a suspense play produced and directed by Anton M. Leader.
Death has no
Friends,
shadow.
go.
Bob Hope. That Bob Hope might be interesting.
From Hollywood, California, the Lux Radio Theater presents Barbara Stanwyck, Errol Flynn, Mary Astor, and an all-star cast in These Three.
Lux presents Hollywood. This program tonight is your program, made possible, ladies and gentlemen, by your purchases of Lux toilet soap. You will hear Errol Flynn, Barbara Stanwyck, Mary Astor, Constance Collier, Alma Kruger, Marcia May Jones, and Helen Parrish enacting Samuel Goldwyn's great screenplay, These Three, while our special guests are those young writers, the three Abbey children, and their mother. The Lux Radio Theater Orchestra is conducted by Louis Silvers, and your host and producer is Hollywood's pioneer director. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Cecil B. DeMille. Greetings from Hollywood, ladies and gentlemen. A wedding in the film capital is often front-page news, but there was one the other day which completely escaped the headlines, and properly so, for you never heard of the bride nor the groom, and perhaps you never will. The groom, in fact, is a stable boy, and the scene of the ceremony was the bunkhouse where he and the hired hands lived. But I doubt if Hollywood ever witnessed a happier wedding, because one of our most distinguished stars supplied the wedding feast, and she herself attended, danced with everyone, made them all forget that she's the groom's boss, and that her name is Barbara Stanwyck. That's the true character of the girl who returns to our stage tonight, starring for us as Martha Doby in These Three. Errol Flynn, the Dublin-born globetrotter who came to Hollywood after a daring career in the South Seas, plays Dr. Joseph Cardin. Errol these days is twanging the longbow on the Warner Brothers lot, where he starred in The Adventures of Robin Hood. Mary Astor, whom you've seen this year in Dodsworth, Prisoner of Zenda, and Hurricane, makes her debut tonight in the Lux Radio Theater, where you hear her as Karen Wright. From the cast of the film are Alma Kruger as Mrs. Tilford and Marcia May Jones as Rosalie. Helen Parrish plays the part of Mary Tilford. And I'm delighted to announce the presence of Constance Collier, veteran of the stage and films, whom we welcome in the role of Aunt Lily. Time won't allow me to say all I'd like to about these 7 important personalities, so we let them speak for themselves as the Lux Radio Theater presents these 3, starring Errol Flynn, Barbara Stanwyck, and Mary Astor. Graduation day at a women's college in New England. In the fading light of a May afternoon, students stroll aimlessly about the campus, many of them for the last time. On the edge of the college grounds, 2 girls in the robes of graduating students sit quietly beneath a tree, listening to the distant song. They've been silent for some time. At last, one of them speaks.
What train are you taking, Karen? I don't know. I don't know what time my train goes or where it's going to. Funny. I always thought graduation would be a happy day. It isn't.
What was it the dean said? Let me see. Starting a new life may sometimes be a lonely business.
What are you going to do, Martha?
Oh, I don't know. Teach somewhere, I guess. If I can get a job. I'd hate to tag along with Aunt Lily, and she's the only relation I've got.
That's just one more than I have. Do you think I could teach?
Maybe we could find someplace together. 2 well-educated young women, all so neat and clean, wish positions.
Martha?
What?
Martha, I've got a farm. It's about all I have got. My grandmother left it to me. I haven't seen it in years, but I used to spend my summers there when I was a little girl. We could go there. We could work there.
Teaching the farm?
No, there's no one there anymore. Hasn't been for years. Martha, do you know, we might start a school, something of our own. It'd be fun. We'd be good at it, too.
Yes, but it isn't practical, Karen.
We can't just sit here. We've got to do something.
Yes, but...
We can get a train tonight. Oh, Martha, take a chance with me and come.
Anyway, fellas, I started to say it's really nice being up here in Santa Barbara.
Oh, it certainly is, Jack, especially with the ocean being so close.
If you ask me, Don, the ocean is too close.
What do you mean?
Somebody around here is bottling it and selling it for beer.
Check this out. State Farm was charging me $179 for auto insurance per month. No, thank you.
State Farm.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the Jack Benny Players starring Barbara Stanwyck bring you that great psychological drama, Autolite. The scene is the living room on the first floor of a 4-story house in a gloomy and unfashionable quarter of London in the year 1871. Outwardly, the atmosphere is one of peace, for even the servants are unaware that for the past weeks, the master of the house has been systematically pursuing a sinister, diabolical scheme to drive his wife insane.
I thought the master wanted Mrs. Manningham to have supper in her room.
He did, but she insisted on eating in here. And if you ask me, I think she's off her trolley. The master said she ordered this for her dinner.
What is it?
Marinated salami.
She's an odd one, all right.
The master says if she doesn't get any better, he's going to send her away to...
Here she comes now. If you need me, I'll be in the pantry.
Righto.
Elizabeth, I've changed my mind. I don't think I'll eat anything.
Oh, but why, madam? Don't you feel well?
These headaches, these awful, frightful headaches pounding day in and day out. My husband tells me I keep doing things I don't even remember. I can't sleep at night. I keep tossing and turning and wondering what's going to become of me. Oh, why? Why do I get these awful headaches?
Madam, perhaps if you ate something, you would feel better.
Yes, maybe you're right.
I know you're going to enjoy your supper. It's exactly what your husband said you ordered.
What's that?
Marinated salami.
Marinated salami?
Yes. Shall I pour the sour cream?
No, don't pour anything. I'm going mad, I tell you. I don't even remember ordering anything like that. Oh, these headaches, these awful headaches. Where is my husband? Why isn't he here when I need him?
Madam, I think the master just came in.
Good. You may go, Elizabeth. Charles, I'm so glad you're home. The hours that you're away drag on and on. I can't live without you by my side. I need your sympathy, your help, your tender understanding. Oh, my beloved, my darling. Only you can guide me through the darkness of my confusion. Only you can make me smile again, laugh again, live again. Oh, Charles, speak to me, speak to me.
What are you doing out of your room? Answer me, Bella.
Answer me.
What are you doing out of your room?
What are you doing out of
I
your
had
room?
to come out. It's these headaches, these awful headaches. I've been confined to my room all day, and it was driving me mad. Breakfast in bed, lunch in bed. I couldn't have dinner in bed. It was full of dirty dishes.
Ah, my poor Bella. Control yourself. You're getting hysterical. What you need is a sedative. I'll ring for the maid. Bella, while you're waiting for the sedative, why don't you just sit here and relax?
Yes, Charles.
Just close your eyes. Close your eyes, Bella, and forget everything.
Yes, Charles.
You feel better now, Bella?
Oh, yes, Charles, yes.
I knew if you just sat here and relaxed, you'd feel so much...
Charles, what are you staring at?
That picture on the wall. Why did you turn it upside down?
Picture upside down? But I didn't. I didn't turn the picture upside down. It must have been someone else. Oh, Charles, what's happening to me? What's happening to me?
Another picture's upside down, too. Look.
No.
Why do you keep doing these things?
But I didn't.
Oh, Bella. Bella, your mind is fading. Why don't you keep turning pictures upside down, and you don't even remember?
But I didn't turn it upside down. It must have been someone else.
Someone else. Always someone else. Are you suggesting that one of the maids or the butler did it?
Yes, that's it. The butler. He must have done it.
Very well. I'll find out.
Oh, Charles, don't humiliate me in front of the servants, please.
It's the only way, Bella. I'll ring for the butler.
Turn the pictures upside down, then perhaps I did do it. But I don't remember.
Don't remember. Where is that butler? Where is he? Jeeves! Jeeves, those pictures are upside down. Did you notice them?
Well, by Jove, if they ain't.
Did you do it?
Oh, me?
Maybe you did it when you were dusting.
Yes. Yes, Jeeves. Maybe you did it while you were working.
Me working? Oh, your lordship, come now.
Then I assume that you did not turn those pictures upside down.
Pip-pip.
There you are, Bella. Then you're the one who did it.
But I don't remember.
Don't remember. Lately, you've been doing everything backwards. Yesterday, when we came back from the fox hunt, you hung your riding habit in the stable and put the horse in that closet. Bella, you must admit, there's something wrong with you. Bella, you must let me take you away. Jeeves, you may go.
Thank you, sir. I'm have tomorrow.
Tomorrow off? Why?
The cricket matches, you know. Thank you, boss.
What?
Right-o, governor.
I hope now, Bella, that you realize that you are mentally ill.
Oh, Charles, where are you going?
I have an appointment.
Every night you leave me alone. Tell me, is it another woman?
I hate to admit it, but the answer is no. Goodbye, Bella.
Wait, before you go, kiss me.
Very well, Bella. How was that, Bella?
One dimension. He leaves me alone. I can't stand it anymore. I must have someone to talk to. Elizabeth! Elizabeth! Oh, where is that maid? Why does he leave me like this? Why? Oh, the lights. They're going dim again, the same as they did last night and the night before. Every time he leaves me, the lights go dim. Oh, why? Why does he do this to me? If he only knew how much I loved him, he'd stay here and comfort me through the... Oh, Charles, my husband, he's come back. Oh, Charles. Oh, Charles, don't ever leave me again. Oh, Charles, let me hold you close. Oh, Charles. Wait a minute, who are you?
If I said I'm anybody else but Charles, I'd be crazy. I want to see you. I am an inspector from Scotland Yard, and I've come to talk to you about your husband.
Oh, my poor Charles, is he in danger?
No, but you are.
Me?
Yes, you see, your husband is a notorious jewel thief. And 15 years ago, he murdered a woman in this very mansion. And then he married you, so that under the guise of an English gentleman, he could come back and search the place for her jewels.
No, Inspector.
Just call me Charles.
Inspector, you're hurting me!
Oh, I'm so terribly sorry. As I was saying, you see, your husband is trying to drive you out of your mind so that he can send you away and that he can continue the search in the attic.
Oh, so that's why the lights go dim down here. He turns the gas on in the attic.
Yes, and he has a secret door through which he can return without and pretend that nothing had happened.
Inspector, how do you know so much about this house?
Well, I built it. If your husband asks you where Little Rock is, say Idaho.
I don't know what you're talking about. But tell me, what are you going to do with my husband?
Well, I have a plan, which...
The lights! They're coming up again. That means he's coming down. Quick, get in the closet! He may have to be in there for a long time. I'd better get him something to eat. Inspector! Inspector!
Did you call me?
Yes, Wait
wait a minute. You were in this closet.
You see, I was testing you. You did remember. You were sane as I am.
Oh, thank goodness. Here, in case you get hungry.
What is that?
Marinated salami.
Oh, God.
My husband. Oh, he's coming back.
Well, Bella, are you feeling better?
Oh, yes, Charles. My headache is all gone.
Oh. Bella, how careless of you to leave this napkin on the floor.
Oh, I'll put it in the closet.
No, I'll put it in the closet.
No, not that closet.
What?
That is the linen closet.
Very well. You know, Bella, I was talking to Dr. Pepper today, and as we were having a Coke, he told me that tomorrow...
Charles, did you put the napkin in the closet?
I didn't have to. The closet reached out and grabbed it.
Oh, Charles, you're talking crazy.
No, Bella. You're the one that's crazy. Keep going around this house, turning everything upside down. Now, Bella, why don't you admit it? Your mind is failing. Let me send you away. I'll have the butler pack your bags. Jeeves!
Howard!
Jeeves, pack Madam's bag. But before you do, bring me a brandy. Yes, Bella. Everything is wrong lately. Tonight, you turned the pictures upside down. Yesterday, you turned the desk upside down. The table's upside down. The chair's upside down. You keep going all over the house, turning everything upside down. Bella, did you notice something different about the butler?
Yes, Charles. And I found out something different about you, too.
You did?
Your game is up. Your scheme didn't work. I know who you are and what you are. I know what you've been trying to do to me.
Oh, you do, eh? Well, then, my dear Bella, the time for subtleties is over.
Oh!
Say, do you have a piece of rye bread?
Inspector, help me!
Mr. Manningham, unhand that woman. Lady Bella, I shall take this man to the police station, and then I'll come back and I will check for fingerprints.
Fingerprints?
Yes.
The ones on the rug belong to the butler. Wait, before you take him away, I'd like to talk to my husband alone.
Then I'd better tie him to this chair. I'll be in the kitchen if you should need me.
That was very clever of you, Bella. And the way he fell.
What?
Look at me, Bella. I'm Charles, your husband. And you love me. Bella, go over to that table over there. There's a knife. Get that knife.
Oh, yes.
Get that knife and cut me loose.
Oh, yes. The knife.
That's right, Bella. Bella, why are you standing there? Bella, aren't you going to cut me loose?
Oh, yes, Charles. I'm going to cut you very loose.
Bella, I'm your husband.
Yes, Charles, you're my husband. And you tried to make me believe that I was crazy. Well, maybe I am. But it was you who drove me to it. It was you who turned the pictures upside down. It was you who turned the lamp upside down and almost convinced me that I did it. Then you turned the table upside down, the desk upside down. The other day I baked an upside down cake and you turned it right side up.
Bella, don't kill me.
No, I won't kill you. That's too much for you. I don't want to take you away.
Thank you very, very much, ladies and gentlemen. You were a wonderful audience, and now I would like to once again have you meet my guest star, Miss Barbara Stanwyck. Barbara, I must say, again that you were just wonderful on my show.
Well, it was my pleasure, Jack. I would also like to tell you that I'm a great fan of yours and your television show, and also I think you have one of the finest radio programs on the air today.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you.
But, of course, how could you help it with such a wonderful personality as Mary Livingston? Thanks, Mary.
See you in about 10 minutes. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
New Bachelor Father, starring John.
I've got to have some action. Time is running out. Come in. Well, if it isn't the boy reporter. Okay, check it again. Right. Good morning, Mr. Lambert.
Good morning, Mrs. Randall. What's with the new field?
Oh, nothing, just thinking a third shaft.
News like that's not going to sound good.
Well, how about a recipe for chicken cacciatore?
No, thanks. A former employee of yours, Roy Turner, released from the state prison this morning. Parole.
Glad to hear it.
What do you do around here anyway, besides steal the payroll?
He was one of my roughnecks, and I don't think he stole a payroll.
We got an announcement this morning from the university. It says you have donated $25,000 to Dr. Bishop's research project.
Mm-hmm. In memory of my late husband. Why?
Doc Bishop is also chairman of the parole board.
So?
No connection.
No comment.
Kind of odd, isn't it, Liz? Man steals $40,000 from you, and here, 3 years later, you bail him out?
No one can buy a parole tie, you know that.
No, but you can, let's say, create a favorable climate for one.
Well, I suppose it has been.
But not in this case.
No comment.
Goodbye, Liz.
So long, Si.
Yeah, the electrical power factor.
Listen, Thomas Edison, maybe you've done your algebra for tomorrow, but Benjamin Franklin here hasn't, so say goodnight.
See you tomorrow, Pudgy. Over and out. Gee, Mom, you're getting prettier every day.
Mm-hmm. That will get you no place.
Hey, there's a dance at the club tonight. Why don't you call Jerry Michaels? He'd jump at a chance to take you.
I wish you'd stop fixing my dates for me.
But, Mom...
How many times have I told you not to call me Ma?
Okay. Mater.
Oh, you said it for Ma. Come on, algebra.
Good evening. Is Mrs. Randall in? I'm Roy Turner.
She's in the library.
Hi.
Hi.
What are you reading?
Algebra.
You sound as if you don't like it.
I don't.
Why not?
Well, I don't see any sense in it. All those X's and Y's.
Say, aren't you a little old to be just starting algebra?
So I'm only 13.
Is that all? Oh, you look older. I guess it's your shoulders. Say, how'd you develop all that muscle?
Push-ups.
Well, maybe that's why they make you study algebra.
Why?
Push-ups for the head. The brain's a muscle, isn't it?
Oh, it is?
That's what they tell me.
Oh, Mom, this Mr. Turner?
Good evening, Mrs. Randall.
Upstairs.
Okay.
There she is.
I know we have an appointment tomorrow morning, but I couldn't wait.
Oh, please come in.
Thank you.
May I offer you a drink?
No, thanks. Last time I saw him, he was no higher than Whiskey Jack.
They do grow up.
Mrs. Randall, this has been a very interesting day. First, the warden tells me you got a job for me. There's a reservation at the Drovers Hotel. And when I get there, the clerk hands me an envelope with $100 in it.
It's just in advance. I thought perhaps you might be able to use it.
Yeah, thanks. Mrs. Randall, why did you help swing my parole? Why do you want me back here?
I have a job I want you to do.
What kind of job?
Assistant to the president.
Me, assistant to her?
She's chairman of the board. I'm president. I'm trying to open up a new field. There's oil there, I'm sure of it, but my lease expires in about a week, and I have to work quickly. That's your first assignment.
What makes you think I can handle it?
Oh, you've handled bigger. Persian Gulf, Venezuela, Chile.
Whoever dug that out was a good man.
That's the kind I hired. Anyhow, you made your pile, lost it, wound up here as a ruffian.
I wound up in prison.
At the trial, your story was that you had been framed, wasn't it?
That was my story.
Maybe I believed it.
I used to watch you driving across the field in that fishtail convertible. I always figured you for a dame, a woman who had everything and nothing. Money, brains, looks, everything but a heart.
What has heart got to do?
Maybe I was wrong.
See? You'll take the job?
I'll be there at 9. Does the chairman of the board think I was framed?
You're working for me, Roy, not my mother-in-law.
Thanks. Good night.
Oh, good morning, Jesse.
Well, aren't we all gussing out? High heels, pearls. First thing you know, you'll be riding side saddle.
I have to go to that charity thing, that luncheon.
Yeah, so do I, but I don't feel very charitable.
No, why not?
Ah, these silly women. I was playing hen poker last night. One of them tried to tell me some cock and bull story about how you sprung Roy Turner out on parole and hired him to be your assistant. I sure got her told.
Wasn't any cock and bull story.
What?
He starts this morning.
Roy Turner here.
Mm-hmm. I need an assistant.
You hired a man that stole a $40,000 payroll from me?
Did you see him steal it?
He was convicted.
On circumstantial evidence.
He wanted to buy an oil lease. He needed money. He found the payroll in his car at the airport. Now, look here, Liz. Put that stuff down and look at me. Why? Why would you hire Roy Turner?
Who else would? He'll be so grateful, he'll break his neck trying to do a good job, and he's a good man.
Ah, better men than him are cluttering up the lobbies of every hotel between here and Tulsa.
I happen to want Roy Turner. I'm tired of it. I want to spend more time with Mike. Summer's coming. I might want to take him on a vacation.
Well, aren't you being the little mother?
Have you any objections as to what kind of a mother I am?
Up to now, I haven't.
Come in.
I've been to... Good morning, Mrs. Randall. I've been to personnel. I'm all set.
They're having trouble at the Cherokee Springs Field, the Rogers lease. Get out there as quickly as possible. I'll be up later.
Yes, ma'am. Goodbye, ma'am.
3 years on the rock pile didn't hurt his build none.
You're on the wrong track, sir.
Oh, stop trying to be the innocent little widow. You're restless, you have been for a long time. Not that I blame you, Annie. I was 20 years younger and I'd go for him myself. 10 even.
How do you know what I am?
Because we're the same kind of people, Liz. I was a hash slinger in the mining camp. You was the hip slinger on a carnival midway. Now you listen to me. I know you didn't love my son. We made a bargain with you. You took this job because he wasn't man enough to do it.
Leave him out of it, he said.
Yeah. But he left me a grandson. And you're going to carry on for him. You're going to build something so good, nobody can throw mud in it.
Believe me, Jesse, you haven't a thing to worry about.
Plenty of things to worry about. One of them ain't going to be my grandson's mother getting mixed up with the next tumble. Just remember that.
Then you should bring her in around midnight. Oh, no, don't let that happen. All right, Roy, I'll take your word. But call me back. I'll be waiting. Right. Mike, you shouldn't walk out on your guest.
I wanted to have a talk with him, Mom. It's swell having me at the party, but I can handle it myself. Why don't you go out to the field?
Now, you're still a very small boy, and I'm not going to have you push me around.
You don't fool me. You don't want to be here drinking pink lemonade when the well blows in.
I have pink lemonade. You just twisted my arm.
What a coincidence.
Hello.
Couldn't stay away.
Wow.
My kid's giving a party.
Well, that shouldn't be wasted on kids.
You don't have to say things like that. Better if you didn't.
All right, boss.
What's going on out there? They stopped drilling.
I was just phoning you. We're down another 50 and nothing shows. I think we ought to use a bullet.
If you drop a bullet in that shaft and there won't be a thing left.
What would you do?
Put them back to work. Keep drilling.
We're already down 2,100.
Well, go 25, go 3,000. Then if nothing shows, we'll bring in a fracking setup from Tulsa.
I checked it. We couldn't get it here for 48 hours. That's when your lease expires.
Roy, please, don't argue the point. My way, at least, we stand a chance.
I'm afraid you're too late, Mrs. Randall.
Oh, Roy, no, you didn't. Not without asking me.
You put me in charge of this deal. As long as I'm running things, I'll run them my way. Listen.
She's coming in.
Coming in a gusher.
Oh, Roy! Oh. Morning, Jesse. What are you doing up so bright and early?
Chartered me a plane for Dallas. With the notion to do some shopping.
Well, lovely day for it.
Oh, by the way, congratulations. You're number 3 coming in.
Yes, I was just going to phone you. 1,000 barrels a day.
That's nice. Liz, Millie Raymond bought herself a sable coat. Anything costs more than sable?
Yes, chinchilla.
Chinchilla? Well, if they got it at Neiman's, they'll get me one. Want me to bring you one?
No, thanks. I've got everything I need.
So I noticed last night at the shack. I was looking in the window when the well come in.
Jesse, I will not have you spying on me.
Didn't like it either. Ruined the $40 pair of slippers. Got well all over my mink. Last night when I come in, I said, Jesse, you're too old for this messy sort of thing. You put a stop to it like you meant to in the beginning. This morning I called payroll. I told them to close Roy Turner out with 2 weeks' pay.
Sam, Liz. Mrs. Randall put in a closing notice on Roy Turner. Cancel it.
Liz?
That's right. I said cancel it. It was a mistake. Right.
I didn't expect that. I didn't want open war between us.
Neither did I, Jesse, but if that's the way you want it, I'm ready for it.
You're ready for it? Why, you poor little sparrow. What chance do you think you've got against me? Take a look out that window. I own everything you see. The wells, the town, even the people in it. It's power, Liz. And I'm going to use it. going to send you right back to that tent show you come from.
Well, how does she look?
Looks all right.
If my own field had just been proved up, I'd be a little more enthusiastic.
I'm very pleased it came in.
It came in a week ago. You haven't been here since.
I've been busy.
Day and night?
Uh-huh.
I hear different. I hear you don't go out at all. Lady Hermit. Did you love him very much?
Did I love whom very much?
Your husband, Charles Wellington Randall. I remember he smashed up a car once, well, about 4 or 5 years ago, just after I came here.
Yes, he smashed up a car.
The newspaper said he had a girl with him.
I was working in a carnival when I married Charlie. I liked this life better. He had lots of girls, needed them, I guess, or thought he did. I want you to drill some more wells right away.
I took a girl out myself the other night.
Pretty one, I hope.
Works in the payroll department. She told me I got fired the other day for an hour or so.
Well, you're still working for me, aren't you?
Mrs. Randall, I don't like being a football. I don't like being kissed and then kissed off. So maybe you better find yourself another boy to dig your wells.
No, Roy. I want you to stay.
You do? Then why haven't I been able to get you on the phone? I thought that excitement called for a celebration. I still do.
Roy, let's get one thing straight. What happened in the shack? Well, it didn't matter too much.
I misjudged you, I guess. I thought you were a little bit better than that.
Better than what?
Oh, it must have been a nice little Brannigan. I'll tell you how it went. The chairman of the board found out you'd given me a job and blew her stack. Took me off the payroll. You faced up to her and put me back. And then she laid it on the line. I can work for you, but it stops there. After hours, I'm still an ex-con, right?
Take me back to the office.
Sure.
Pick me up for dinner at 8.
Right here, Jesse.
I want to talk to you.
It's what you get when you split an atom. Of course I never split an atom. I read it in a book. Oh, hi, Grandma. It's Grandma, Pudgy.
Don't you know anybody else?
Upstairs, Mike.
Call you right back. Where's my cut, Grandma?
No, didn't play today. Too busy for poker. I'll beat it like your ma says.
Yeah, sure.
Can I get you a drink, Jesse?
Yeah, straight. You dress, huh?
Oh, sort of.
You don't have to tell me where you're going, I know. Made a reservation at the club for dinner for 2. Taking Roy Turner, I reckon.
Yes, Jesse, I am.
Oh my gosh,
You
could they
don't
ever
think
make
I'm
this
upset
just
about
start
that,
slow
you
mo?
cactus.
It's not
Matter
even-
of fact, you taking that convict to an exclusive club
Never
fits
be.
right in with my plan.
What plan is that, Jesse?
Get rid of you, Liz. Remember that day Charlie brought you home? Said, here she is, Mama. I'm gonna marry her. She ain't no debutante, but she's like the girl that married dear old Dad. I thought she was just the kind of wife for my son. I've always liked you, Liz. I like you now. I don't want to hurt you. That's why I come here tonight. To give you one more chance. Get rid of Roy Turner. I'm going to take you into court. I'm going to prove you're an unfit mother and get custody of my grandson.
But what?
He's the only one I got.
On what grounds? You're talking like a madwoman.
Child, I got solid proof. You and Roy Turner have been carrying on as far back as 5 years. When Charlie was alive.
That's a lie.
Got me in his soul.
That's what you've been doing. Buying witnesses, perjury,
Yeah, money is such a handy thing to have around.
And I always thought you threw them straight.
All fair as a thing, though.
your answer now, Louise. I didn't want to hurt you either, Jesse, but you've left me no choice. What's that? About a week after Charlie's plane crash, the coroner brought me a box. He said, here's Mr. Randall's things. Hat, pair of binoculars, maps, and papers. I didn't even open it. I just put it away. And a couple of months ago, Mike wanted a pair of binoculars for a Boy Scout trip. I got it out. Underneath him in the box, I found this. A letter Charlie wrote to me just before he died. That's it. Jesse, that plane crash was no accident. He crashed deliberately.
I don't believe it.
Charlie stole that payroll, not Roy. He had to pay a gambling debt. He stole a car, drove to the airport. Roy's car. Then he must have realized what he had done and walked away from the whole thing. He wrote this letter absolving Roy, got in his plane, and committed suicide.
Typewritten letter. Made the whole thing up.
Take forever to get
You know
to
better
an
than that.
actual level 1.
The original is in my safety pocketbook. I'm sorry, Jim.
And the people change. It's a freaking parallel imaginary universe. You're alone in
I guess
it.
I'll go now.
Give us the triangular.
You must be getting old, Liz.
Give us the dream warp.
All of a sudden, I feel misery like Mama used to say.
Perhaps you'd better spend the night.
No.
Episodes are
No,
less
I'm
than
all right.
half an hour, and just the minutes are dragging by.
I'm all right.
I feel like I've invented a time slowing device.
So you always thought I played him straight.
Although that is in my slogan, slow down and
And
all
I
that.
never threw a
nonsense.
curve like the one you threw Roy Turner.
Watch it.
Oh, good evening, Mrs. Randall. What's wrong, Liz? Liz, what's wrong?
She's right. She is so right.
What happened between you two?
Roy, Charlie stole that payroll. This is his confession. He wrote it just before he committed suicide.
You knew this and you let me rot in that stinking prison.
No, I did not know it. Not at the time, I swear it. When the coroner brought the box of Charlie's things, I didn't have the heart to open it. I just put it away. And then a couple of months ago, Mike wanted a pair of binoculars, and I remembered. And in the box, I found the letter, and that's the truth.
So you kept your mouth shut and swung my parole and gave me a job.
Please try to understand. I was wrong, but I didn't want Mike to find out about his father. Mike is my son. He's all I've got. I thought I could make it up to you.
Don't worry, you have.
over 2,000 miles. I spent more money on private detectives because of you. We were about to give up when one of them stumbled on a lead. Now, who ever heard of Petrolera de Managua?
You came all the way to Nicaragua?
Here.
Why?
I want you to come back. Mike knows the truth.
They didn't have to for me.
I know, but after you left, I realized that what happened in the shack then, well, it did matter very much. Boy, I need you.
Oh my gosh, it almost feels like a game. It almost feels like a game. Hey, I'm not ending the stream immediately, but we're bringing in some Agnes Moorehead radio. I know I said Barbara Stanwyck, but we need an Agnes Moorehead radio episode. It's just kind of the system we're in right now.
And now, Roma Wines, R-O-M-A, Roma Wines present Suspense.
Tonight, Roma Wines bring you Robert Taylor in The House in Cypress Canyon, a suspense play produced, edited, and directed for Roma Wines by William Spear.
Suspense, radio's outstanding theater of thrills, is presented for your enjoyment by Roma Wines. That's R-O-M-A, Roma Wines. Those better-tasting California wines enjoyed by more Americans than any other wine. For friendly entertaining, for delightful dining. Yes, right now, a glassful would be very pleasant. As Roma Wines bring you Robert Taylor, star of Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer's Undercurrent, in a remarkable tale of suspense.
Merry Christmas, Jerry. How's the real estate business?
Kind of early with your greeting, aren't you, Sam?
Well, I gotta get them in sometime. I may not see you again until next Christmas.
If this real estate racket gets any crazy, I'll be dead by next Christmas. I'm glad you could get up here, though, Sam.
What's on your mind, Jerry?
You'll probably shoot me when you hear it, Sam, because I'm probably nuts. But doggone it, you're a detective and you're my pal, and I just had to tell somebody.
You sound like it's serious.
That's just it. I don't know what it is, Sam, but... Now listen, you know we're agents for a group of houses up in Cypress Canyon. Those places that were started before the war, never got finished.
Oh, yeah.
All I got in were the foundations, just concrete and a couple of beams. Well, they've been finished now. In fact, I'm putting up the for rent on the last of them today.
But what do you want? Police protection from the mob?
Listen, Sam, this house that I'm talking about, it's got a number now, 2256. But before, when the men went back to work on it about 3 months ago, well, they just started when the foreman on the job brought me a shoebox that he'd found up on a beam. And this box had a manuscript in it, a story kind of, all written out.
Yeah.
Well, he gave me the thing. I read it. I didn't think much about it. I put it in my desk. But the other day, when I happened to drive by there, I saw the number on the house and what the house looked like. I thought of this manuscript. Well, I don't like it. That's all. There's something funny about it.
What's funny about it?
Well, mind you, this thing was found in an unfinished house in Cypress Canyon. House that was only just started building.
All right.
Well, listen, Sam, I want to read it to you if you've got the time, and you'll see what I mean.
All right, shoot.
Well, here's how it begins. To whom it may concern, my reasons for setting down on paper what follows here will be abundantly clear.
To anyone into whose possession it may fall. First, let me say that I'm a very ordinary person. My name is James A. Woods. I'm 35 years old. By profession, a chemical engineer. My wife, Ellen, was a school teacher when I met and married her in Indiana 7 years ago. There's nothing in the past life of either one of us to suggest remotely any cause or reason for the dreadful thing that has invaded our lives. Our married life has been in no way different from that of millions of other average, reasonably happy, and congenial families. 3 months ago, I was ordered by my firm to take charge of a rather minor project in Los Angeles, Hollywood to be exact. The order was a sudden one. There'd been no time to secure accommodations, and conditions being what they are, the inevitable result was that until day before yesterday, we'd been living in the cramped quarters of one of those characteristic California motels. Needless to say, most of our spare time had been devoted to a search for something more permanent and comfortable. But the fruits of these efforts had been, financially and in every other way, a geometrical progression of discouragement. Until last Saturday afternoon, only 4 days before Christmas. We were driving into town on our way to a movie when Ellen saw it.
Jim, look.
What?
That sign in front of that real estate office.
Oh, yeah.
But don't you see what it says? For rent, furnished, 2-bedroom house, close in, immediate occupancy.
Yeah,
Aren't you going to stop?
Oh, Ellen, you know what a sign like that. It'd mean right out in plain sight in front of a real estate office.
Oh, yeah, but Jim...
Whether they want $600 a month...
We'll never know until we
If it's
ask.
any good at all, there are probably 50 people fighting for it right back there now.
Well, honey, there's no harm in trying now, is there?
You really want to go back?
Oh, it's probably foolish, but what can we lose?
Okay.
Oh, darling, come on, cheer up. How do you know? Maybe our luck's changed. Maybe fate's going to give us a nice new house for a Christmas present.
We're sorry to bother you, but we just happened to see that for rent sign outside.
Oh,
and,
yeah, I hung it outside just this minute.
Is the house available?
Why, sure it is.
Let me introduce myself. My name is James A. Woods, and this is my wife, Ellen.
How to do? Wow. Looks like it's fixing to rain.
Yes, so it does, doesn't it? Well, it was one of those things. The real estate agent had just been authorized to rent the place by mail that morning, and he'd hardly had time to look at it himself and put up his sign when we drove up. It was just an ordinary little California house about halfway up Cypress Canyon, number 2256. Just an ordinary, undistinguished little house. The agent didn't know much about it. Construction on it had been stopped by the war, and it had just been completed and furnished lately. It had been vacant while somebody's estate was being settled, and now it was owned by a bank in Sacramento. Of course, we didn't
Got
care
this
about
key in the mail along with the authorization to rent. Only one there is. Of course, you can have duplicates made. Seems to stick a little. Oh, no, there it is.
It doesn't sound as though that door had ever been opened.
Well, a little oil on the hinges will fix that all right.
Oh, sure.
Now here's your living room. Furniture's a little dusty, of course. You gotta expect that. It's good furniture, though, you see? Benson Brothers.
Yes,
Now, over here's a little den. Panel, you see? Radio, fireplace. Really a very attractive little room, particularly for a man.
yeah.
Now, the bedroom's off the living room. Everything's all on one floor, you understand? It's quite nice, I think.
Yes.
You can see you get the morning sun here. There's a view of the canyon through these front windows. You got a prospect.
That's about all there was to it. It wasn't the best place in the world. It was small and badly built, but what would you have done? We took it with as little inspection as that. It was the Saturday before Christmas. And the very same evening, we were struggling up the steps from the road with suitcases and boxes and armloads of clothes and all the endless bric-a-brac that people collect and never know they have until they move. Ellen began unpacking, and I began moving things around and taking the worst of the pictures off the wall, doing all the little things that everybody does when they move into a new place and try to give it something.
Don't be such a sourpuss. You know, it's a roof over our heads for Christmas. That's more than we ever thought we'd get, isn't it? Now, what in the world are we going to do with those 2 pictures?
Why don't we just leave them where they are?
Jim, we can't. They're too awful.
Well, all right, put them in the closet then.
I can't. Both the closets are jammed full.
No, I mean the other one in the little alcove off the den. At least there's a door there. I suppose it's a closet.
Yeah. That isn't a commentary on the housing problem, huh? A woman moving into a house without even knowing where all the closets are. Take the pictures down, will you, honey? Bring them in here.
Okay.
Guess you'll have to help me with this door. I can't get it open.
Let me see. Well, of course you can't, silly. It's locked. Where those keys we found on the desk?
Get here.
No, not this one. Sure, this one won't work. No. Feels like an awful solid door for a closet.
Oh, that's one solid door in the house.
This one won't do it either. Well, we'll just have to get a locksmith up here on Monday. I'll put the pictures behind the desk, okay?
Yeah, all right. Jim, if you could just help me move this armchair, huh?
Oh, Ellen, will you let it go until tomorrow? You know what time it is?
But, honey, I'd like to get the place looking just a
Yeah,
little
but it's
bit.
almost midnight. In fact, it's exactly...
What was that?
Tomcat, I guess, out in the brush somewhere.
Sounded near. Hope that doesn't go on all night.
There's much we can do about it. Come on, Ellen, I'm dead tired.
All right, Jim, all right.
Where'd you put the toothpaste, honey?
It's right in the medicine cabinet.
Oh, yeah.
Jim, we ought to get some firewood tomorrow. You know, a fire in that living room would make all the difference in the world.
Can't. Sunday.
Well, Monday then. Jim, I think red curtains are what we need, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
You know, just at least for the living room. Anyway, the ones in there now have just got to come down.
Yeah, I suppose they do.
What do you think of red?
Well, I guess it's all...
Jim.
It's some tomcat.
Jim, it sounded in the house.
Now, how could it be in the house, Ellen? We've been over every inch of the house.
Except the closet.
Now, how could a cat or anything else be in a closet that's been locked up for over a year?
I don't know.
It's probably under the house. A wildcat or mountain lion or something. I hear they have them in California.
Jim, I don't like
Well,
it.
neither do I like it, but there's nothing we can do about it tonight.
Well, maybe we ought to call somebody, the police or some
don't
neighbor.
be silly, Ellen. You act like a kid. Come on, let's go to bed, huh?
All right, I suppose it is silly. Jimmy, did you lock the door?
Yeah. Can I turn out the lights now?
Yeah. All right.
Good night, Ellen. Sleep tight.
Good night, Jim.
I don't know what time it was, perhaps an hour, perhaps only a half hour later. My mind was in that hazy borderland between sleep and a dream that's still part of consciousness. Then I was awake. Ellen, are you all right?
Yes.
Did you have a nightmare or something?
No. I heard it, too.
Well, that didn't sound like any cat.
Put on the light.
Yeah.
It seemed to be out there, Jim, in the house somewhere.
I'm going to look into this.
Jim, you be careful.
Come on. Where's my shotgun?
In the den, I think. Jim.
What?
There's something wet
What? Wet?
running from under the closet door. Sticky.
Hey, Ellen, don't touch it.
I had to. Jim, it's blood.
For suspense, Roma Wines are bringing you Robert Taylor in The House in Cypress Canyon. Roma Wines' presentation tonight in radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense.
Between the acts of Suspense, this is Ken Niles for Roma Wines. These days before Christmas are busy ones indeed, yet smart hostesses everywhere find time for shopping and distinguished home entertaining later. The secret? Magnificent Grand Estate Wines. Presented by Roma, America's greatest vintner, Grand Estate Wines add distinction to your hospitality on a moment's notice. Make your holiday welcome, effortless, and in perfect taste. The brilliant clarity, full fragrance, and mellow taste of Grand Estate Wines please discriminating people everywhere. For Grand Estate Wines, limited bottlings by Roma, are born of choicest grapes, then patiently guided to superb taste richness by Roma vintner skill, necessary time, and America's finest winemaking resources. Delight your guests with Grand Estate California wines. For entertaining, medium sherry, ruby port, or golden muscatel. For dining, Burgundy or Sauterne. So insist on Grand Estate Wines and enjoy the crowning achievement of vintner skill.
And now, Roma Wines bring back to our Hollywood soundstage Robert Taylor as James A. Woods, with Kathy Lewis as his wife Ellen in The House in Cypress Canyon, a tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
It cannot be too difficult to understand from the foregoing why I've taken the pains to set down in writing the events related here. To find in one's newly rented house a closet which cannot be opened is in itself certainly no great cause for alarm. But to be awakened in the stillness of the night by unearthly cries within that house, to find oozing from under that closet door something that is unquestionably blood, that's another matter. Perhaps others might have been braver than we. Suffice it only to say that we got out of the house in something very close to a panic, and only returned when we had the moral support of two stalwart Los Angeles policemen.
You just moved in here, you say?
That's right, officer. You can see we're still unpacking.
And the place has been empty right along before that?
I don't know much about that part of it. You could check all that with the real estate agent, though.
Well, where is this closet?
Oh, it's right in here, officer. And the blood is...
Where? Where's the blood?
Jim?
Officer, I swear to you, there was blood on the floor less than an hour ago. I saw it.
Uh-huh.
It was running out from under that door. We heard that noise, and we got up, and then we saw it. The door was locked.
Locked, huh? Well, it seems to be all right now.
Hey, you folks aren't trying to be funny, are you?
Isn't there anything in it?
No, ma'am, there is not.
Look, officer, we're reputable people. You can call my firm. They'll tell you all about me.
There's nothing wrong with this closet. Walls are solid. No trapdoors.
If you think I'm lying...
I didn't say that, mister. Oh, you probably did hear some sort of a noise, and you got a little panicky, and,
What about the blood? It got on my hand.
It isn't there now, is it?
Yes.
Where?
I feel it.
Now, you folks just take it easy. You know, you're liable to hear all kinds of noises up in these canyons at night. You're from the east, you say?
Yeah. I'm sorry, officer.
Ah, that's all right. That's all right. If you have any real trouble, call on us anytime.
All right.
Well, good night.
Good night.
Good night. Hey, you ought to have this door fixed. That's enough to scare you.
Yeah, we're going to have it fixed. We didn't say much about it after that. There wasn't much that could be said. The next day, I went down to a lot and bought a little Christmas tree and some trimmings, and we tried to pretend we were cheerful, but there was an uneasiness between us that had never been there before. Ellen seemed tired and listless. Several times during the day, I noticed her washing her hands with a brush, scrubbing the one that had touched the blood. That night, we each took a sleeping pill and went to bed. It was sometime after midnight when I was suddenly wide awake and staring into the darkness. In some way, I knew at once and instinctively what had awakened me. Ellen was not in her bed nor in the room. The nameless thing I feared gripped at my heart until I could scarcely breathe. I opened the bedroom door and started through the house, putting on every light that I could find. There was not much to search, but I searched thoroughly. The living room, the kitchen, the bathroom, and even the garage. And all the time, the dread of looking where I knew at last I must look. For I think I knew from the very first time where I'd find her. It must have been a full minute that I stood before that closet door. Then, I opened it. She stood there rigid, her arms at her sides, the fingers extended like claws. Her hair was over her face, her eyes stared out of it. Her lips were drawn back in a grin like an animal at bay. For a moment, I was frozen with the horror of it. I stretched out my hand. Very deliberately, she turned her head and sunk her teeth until they met into the flesh of my forearm. I'd raised my hand to strike at her, but already she'd relaxed her hold and gone utterly limp. She would have fallen unless I'd caught her. I carried her into the bedroom and laid her on the bed. Strangely, at that moment, my only thought was how I might revive her. Until I saw that it was not a faint, but a sleep that she'd fallen into. Sleep as deep and heavy as though she'd been drugged. And so I left her. for me, that night, there was no sleep. Yes, Ellen? Oh, I got a little restless. Make some coffee.
I had the most wonderful sleep. And I feel so rested.
Do you?
Mm-hmm. Jim,
What?
what's the matter with your arm?
Oh, I just heard it.
Honey, it's terribly swollen. Let me see it.
No, it's all right, Ellen.
Oh, it isn't all right. You've got to see Dr. Wesley right away.
Sure, I will.
No, now you promised me, Jim, that you'll go the first thing this morning. How'd it happen?
Why, there was a dog.
Dog?
Yeah, I heard him trying to chew through the screen door. I went out to chase him away, and he bit me.
Was all that racket and I didn't even wake up?
No, Ellen, you didn't even wake up. It was clear to me that Ellen knew nothing.
Let's reactivate. Are we even still live? Let's reactivate one at a time. So we reactivate him. Keep an eye on him. reactivate that.
Nothing of what had transpired the night before. I went to my office that morning and made a pretense of going over routine business, if only to restore my mind to some semblance of calm by the sight and sound of common, familiar things. The pain in my arm had become a persistent, dull throbbing. I made a late appointment with Dr. Wesley. He treated my arm with something of an arched eyebrow, and he said,
"Well, I've never seen anything quite like it before. That is such a rapid onset of infection."
It was dark when I left his office. I hadn't realized it was so late. Driving home, my car seemed sluggish until I saw the needle on the dashboard and realized that I was pushing it to the utmost of its speed. I was racing home to prevent something before it was too late, before the darkness had conspired against me. For somehow I already knew with certainty that it was the darkness and the night that I had to fear. The curves of the canyon seemed endless. And then the cold fear leaped up inside me. My house, too, was dark. I went slowly up the stone steps in the road, looking, praying for some sign of light or life. There was none. The house was empty. Ellen was gone. I looked with the same self-torturing thoroughness, and in that closet first of all, knowing as I did so that it was hopeless. And so, alone in that empty house, I waited, powerless, helpless now, deadened in thought and will, empty as the house itself, save only for the overwhelming sense of a terrible foreboding. Sometime in the early hours of the morning, I snapped on the radio, shortwave. Why, surely a minor question now. I only know that I did. And then I heard it.
R58, R58, go to Laurel Canyon, the 4000 block. A report that a man has been injured or attacked. Condition thought to be critical. Ambulance will follow. That is all.
I was there almost before the police, edging my way through the little crowd, staring down at the man lying there in his white uniform under the streetlight.
Yeah, the milkman, poor guy.
I heard him scream, but when I got here, he was just like this. It was nothing but a
stand back, stand back. Please, please stand back.
Well, you again. I heard it on the radio. I lived just down the road.
Yeah, I remember.
What happened?
Well, take a look. Maybe you can tell us.
He was dead. And he was lying on his back. And his throat had been torn out, as though by the fangs of some wild animal. It is now Christmas Eve, or rather Christmas morning, for it's a little after midnight. I've been waiting here in the stillness of this empty house for nearly 24 hours, waiting for the end. Already once tonight, I've heard that dreadful wailing cry somewhere in the hills. I've nailed up the closet door, but that I know is childish, useless. My arm is horribly swollen and turning black, but that's nothing. It's another end that I foresee, as surely as other men foresee the rising of the sun. I hear the cry again. It's nearer now. I shall leave these notes in a sealed envelope and put it in a shoebox, in the hope that someone will give credence to these dark and terrible events, if indeed such nameless horrors can ever yield to mortal understanding. As for myself, I feel no longer any fear or even sorrow, only a desire that the end and the thing that I must do may come soon. And it will be soon, I know. Yes, for there is someone at the door.
Someone at the door. What do you make of it, Sam?
It's quite a yarn. But what of it?
That's what I thought. Now listen, that's not quite all of it. Clip to it's a newspaper clipping. Listen. Hollywood, December the 26th. Police reported what was apparently a case of murder and suicide in Cypress Canyon sometime in the early hours of the morning. The victims were James A. Woods, a chemical engineer, and his wife, Ellen. Preliminary investigation indicates that Mrs. Woods was killed by the blast of a shotgun in the hands of her husband, who then turned the weapon upon himself. That she fought desperately for her life, however, was evidenced by the disorder of the room and the severe lacerations inflicted upon her husband about the neck and arms. This is the second tragedy to be reported in Cypress Canyon within 24 hours, the other being the unexplained death of Frank Polanski, a milkman.
Well, no such murders or whatever they were ever occurred, if that's what's worrying. The clipping. You have those things printed up, you know.
No, it's not that, Sam. That story was found in an unfinished house in Cypress Canyon. No number, no nothing, just a framework. Now that house is finished. When I drove by it today, well, that's what stopped me, Sam, because it all fits. Now that it's finished, it is the house in the story, the same construction, the same vines and creepers on the lawn, even the same number.
So what, a guy who knows roughly what this house is going to be like writes a yarn and loses it or something?
Did he know the place was going to be listed for rental today, the Saturday before Christmas?
Jerry, coincidence. Two bits you find the guy next door is a ghost story writer or something, and he's been wondering for a year what happened to that thing he wrote.
Okay, coincidence. Well, I'm sorry I bothered you, Sam.
Don't be silly. I liked it. It's a good yarn. That the for rent sign you were talking about?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to put it up outside now.
Well, so long, Jerry, and Merry Christmas again.
Yeah, well, thanks, Sam. I guess I was kind of silly, all right.
Listen, when a guy named, whatever it is, Woods, with a wife named Ellen comes in to rent that place from you, then you can start worrying.
Yeah. Well, so long, Sam.
So long, Jerry.
Come in.
Oh, we're sorry to bother you, but we just happened to see that for rent sign outside.
Yeah, I hung it out just this minute.
Is the house available?
Oh, sure it is.
Let me introduce myself. My name is James A. Woods, and this is my wife, Ellen.
How do? Wow. Looks like it's fixing to...
Yes, it does, doesn't it?
Suspense. Presented by Roma Wines, R-O-M-A. Roma Wines, selected for your pleasure from the world's greatest reserves of fine wines. Tonight's show marks the third birthday of Suspense on the air, and this is Ken Niles asking our star of the evening, Robert Taylor, to help us celebrate.
Why didn't you tell me before, Ken? If I'd only known, I'd have baked a cake.
Well, Bob, all Suspense parties are surprise parties. As an old hand on Suspense, you know that in our plays, the tables are usually turned on the star. So tonight, although it's our birthday, we're going to give you a present. Here it is, a gift basket of Grand Estate California wines from Roma, America's greatest vintner, to our distinguished anniversary guest, Robert Taylor.
Thanks, Ken. You turn a nice table.
And you can Estate Burgundy in your basket, Bob. For Grand Estate Burgundy means rare dining pleasure, adds memorable distinction to holiday dinner. Even everyday meals are outstanding in taste when Grand Estate Burgundy is served. Yes, all Grand Estate wines presented by Roma are limited bottlings of outstanding taste excellence.
That I know about Grand Estate wines, Ken.
But did you know that for Grand Estate wines, Roma selects only the choicest grapes? Then the ancient skill of Roma master vintners, necessary time, and America's finest winemaking resources guide the cuvée of this grape treasure to rich taste luxury. That's why discriminating wine users everywhere look to Grand Estate wines as the crowning achievement of vintner skill.
Reason enough. And now, Ken, who's all set to star on Suspense next Thursday?
It's that very wonderful actress and wonderful girl, Miss Susan Peters. Susan will appear as a young lady in straitened circumstances who finds herself mistaken for a very rich young lady and who is forced into continuing the deception with murder as a result.
Well, sir, to go, I'd like to thank this company of actors who have played with me tonight, and particularly Kathy Lewis, who played Ellen.
Thank you, Bob.
Tonight's original suspense play was written by Robert L. Richards Next Thursday, same time, you will hear Miss Susan Peters as star of Suspense.
Produced by William Spear for the Roma Wine Company of Fresno, California. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
By simply listening, slow down, see just how peaceful they can be. Well, that was an interesting episode. It's been a Sunday back to bed, if I do say so myself. Shout out to Barbara Stanwyck